What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. 1BM. Chapter 1. Advertise here. Konoha Village. Uchiha family meeting. My patriarch, what should I do now? Uchiha Fugaku had a sullen face and did not speak. A Uchiha clan said coldly, "Third Hokage lets us fight against Kurigakure, the Uchiha clan who is good at fire style. This is clearly..." "Shut up," Uchiha Fugaku snarled, interrupting his complaint. However, everyone knows it well. What he said is right. The Uchiha clan. In this Konoha village, people are discriminated against, suppressed, and treated differently. Everyone else understands. As the patriarch, Uchiha Fugaku does not understand this truth. From the day the Uchiha clan became the Konoha garrison. This title, which seems to control power and glory, actually makes the Uchiha clan unpopular. In the entire Konoha village, it is gradually marginalized. There is bound to be a battle between the Uchiha clan and the entire Konoha village. Of course he knows it all. However, Uchiha's power is not enough to compete with Konoha. Uchiha Fugaku frowned slightly. Where is Shisui? Jonin Uchiha Yatsushiro of the garrison said in a low voice. He was summoned by third Hokage. Uchiha Fugaku's face was even more ugly. Uchiha Shisui. It was originally the strongest genius of this generation in the Uchiha clan. Known as the instantaneous Shisui, he not only has the Grandmaster's various instantaneous techniques, but also possesses the strongest illusion distinguished heavenly gods. If he stands firmly on the side of the Uchiha tribe, he still has some chance of winning, but now. Fugaku knew clearly. This genius of the Uchiha clan has already been thoroughly brainwashed by third Hokage. Become the heir to the firm so-called Will of Fire. The other two Jonin, Dao Huo and Tai Huo, naturally understand. The two looked at each other and looked at Uchiha Fugaku. My patriarch, the third generation ordered the Uchiha clan to fight Kurigakure, and now call the strongest Shisui. What does this mean? Fugaku sighed, and said to the other people, "You all get out first." Yes, Lord Patriarch. In the whole room, there is only Fugaku, and the three most powerful henchmen and subordinates. 8 generations, rice fire, iron fire. You guys, don't you understand? Master Patriarch, third generation, what do you want to do with him? Fugaku said in a deep voice, "Let us Uchiha fight Kurigakure." It seems to be for Konoha's contribution, but in fact it is obvious that it is to weaken our Uchiha's power. And when our clan retreats steadily, he will send Shisui, who has long been a confidant, to join the battle. Shisui's strength is obvious to all, and it is bound to defeat Kurigakure. At that time, the hero of the Uchiha clan and the entire Konoha village will be Shisui alone. And Shisui is the confidant of third generation's goal. As for the people of our Uchiha clan who sacrificed, hehe, who cares? In the 8 generations, Dao Huo and Tai Huo suddenly changed their expressions. What a vicious strategy. That said, third generation has already treated us. Fugaku sighed. It's more than the third generation project, the entire policy for the Uchiha family, starting from the second generation, no. Maybe it has started since the time of first Hokage. The 3 Uchiha Jonin were silent. My patriarch, then, should we just be slaughtered like this? If this goes on, I'm afraid our whole clan will be destroyed. Fugaku said coldly, of course not. Our Uchiha clan is definitely not a lamb to be slaughtered. It's just that what we need most is strong combat power. Anahuo smiled bitterly. Jonin rank, I may not lack the Uchiha clan, but at the peak of combat strength, apart from the patriarch, I am afraid that there is only Shisui alone, and he has been targeted by the third generation. A ray of light flashed in Fugaku's eyes. Do not. Among the Uchiha clan, there is also a real master. Oh, the ultimate master. Who is it? Why haven't we heard of it? Fugaku smiled mysteriously. Of course you don't know. I am afraid that few people in Konoha village know his talent except me. The matter has developed to such a point, it seems that I have to ask him to come out of the mountain. The 3 Jonin glanced at each other, all staring at each other in confusion. The 3 followed Uchiha Fugaku to the forbidden area of the Uchiha clan. Naga Shrine. This legendary sacred place is also a place where Uchiha Fugaku occasionally talks secretly with the upper echelons of the clan. The 8 generations frowned. Master of the clan, is it possible that the master of the clan lives in Naga Shrine? Uchiha Fugaku smiled slightly. No, it's just that I promised him that he can practice here. What? My patriarch, this is the holy land of our Uchiha clan, who is qualified to practice here? Uchiha Fugaku smiled. Come with me, you will know soon. The curiosity of the trio reached its peak in an instant. Soon, he followed Fugaku to Naga Shrine, passed through the main hall and came to the backyard. In the west garden of the backyard, there is an inconspicuous cabin. As soon as the 4 people walked in, they saw the figure of a man. The 3 Jonin were surprised. That turned out to be a full-fledged young man. In the eyes of the patriarch Uchiha Fugaku, a person who can be called a master, in the eyes of the 3 Jonin, they all think that they must be an old senior. How could I think of it? It would be so young. Patriarch, shouldn't you mean? Uchiha Fugaku smiled slightly and nodded. The three of them were dumbfounded. The man seemed to perceive someone coming long ago, and he didn't panic at all. He looked back at Uchiha Fugaku and waved hello casually. Yo, Lord Patriarch, Chianu. The young man named Uchiha Qianyu smiled slightly. You came to me, it seems that something big is going to happen. Fugaku nodded heavily. As you and I agreed, if it were not for the great crisis involving the entire Uchiha clan, I would not come to you. The conversation between the two made the three Jonin shocked. That said, this young man is the real trump card in the hands of the patriarch. But how is it possible? His age, maybe younger than Uchiha Shisui, right? Uchiha Qianyu said calmly. Oh, what's the matter? Fugaku took a deep breath, and said everything that had happened. So, if you don't go out of the mountain, Chianu at this time, I'm afraid the entire Uchiha clan will be destroyed. For the whole clan, I, Uchiha Fugaku, represent the entire Uchiha clan in the name of the patriarch. I implore you to come out of the mountain. The three Jonin were shocked as soon as this remark came out. Chapter 2. Advertise here. Uchiha Fugaku, the patriarch of a clan. The leader of Konoha police force. He was so low-pitched, pleading with such a young man. Where is this man sacred? Questions and questions kept flashing in the hearts of the three Jonin from the Uchiha clan. Uchiha Qianyu smiled lightly. Since the patriarch has said so, it seems that it is time for me to leave the mountain. Yes, I have stayed enough in this shrine. It's time to look at the outside world. Uchiha Fugaku was overjoyed. So, you promised. I promised. Great. My Uchiha clan is finally saved. Yatsushiro is the oldest and the most senior of the three Jonin. He finally couldn't help asking. Master Patriarch, what is this man? Uchiha Fugaku took a deep breath. Uchiha Qianyu. He is a peerless genius in my Uchiha clan, more terrifying than my son Itachi and even Shisui. What? For a time, the three of them were shocked. You know, Uchiha Itachi was very young at this time, but his ninjutsu talent was long enough to shock the world. And Uchiha Shisui, it is now recognized as the #1 master of the Uchiha clan. Body flicker technique, Sharingan, the strongest illusion distinguished heavenly gods. The perfect ninja without flaws. But now the patriarch actually said that this man is even more terrifying than these two peerless geniuses. Where is he sacred? Uchiha Fugaku said. Chianyu's parents are both ninjas in my clan. It's a pity that they died young and sacrificed their lives for Konoha village. And he grew up alone, and he was in the same class as the recently famous Namikaze Minato and others. Yatsushiro said silently, Namikaze Minato. Another peerless genius. Fugaku was also silent for a moment. Yes, however, it may be because of the existence of Namikaze Minato that Chianyu's light was concealed. No, I think, Chianyu, you are deliberately keeping a low profile, right? Uchiha Chianyu smiled slightly without comment. At that time, Chianyu didn't show any surprises until he graduated from the ninja school. He just did the task honestly step by step. Even now, he has not even passed the Chunin exam. Master Patriarch, if this is the case, why do you think he? Fugaku said, it's very simple. I had a fight with him. What? Chianyu also smiled. Ah, yeah, that was already many years ago. Many years ago. How old is this young man now? Many years ago, wouldn't it be younger? At that time, he was able to fight against the patriarch, and he also won the praise of the patriarch's peerless genius. He even regarded him as the last killer of the Uchiha clan. Fear. Fugaku smiled slightly. Because, at that time, he was going to sneak into this Naga Shrine. I found out that I thought I was just an ordinary bear kid. I wanted to teach him a lesson and keep him away from the forbidden land in this clan. Result. I was defeated by his hands. Quiet. Deathly silence. The three Jonin can only swallow hardly. This is still a human. Uchiha Qianyu glanced at Fugaku, then smiled and said, why should the patriarch be humble? The battle at the time was just a tie, regardless of the outcome. I can see that the patriarch has retained his back hand. Fugaku smiled slightly, but I also know that you probably have more. The two looked at each other and both laughed. The other three Jonin were even more surprised. It was a tie with the patriarch many years ago. Isn't it more terrifying now? No wonder, the patriarch all regards him as the last whole card. Fugaku smiled slightly and breathed a sigh of relief. Since Chianyu, you agreed to go out of the mountain, then I'm relieved. When you are ready, you can come to me anytime. Good. Uchiha Fugaku laughed and left here with three Jonin. He is in a much better mood. It seems that the winning ticket is already in hand. Seeing the four leave, Chianyu sighed slightly. The Third Ninja World War. It seems it has already started. Chianyu is certainly not a person in this world. It has been more than 10 years since I crossed to Hokage. As a family of Uchiha, but also unknown parents, the talent is even more mediocre. Such status can be described in one sentence. Cannon fodder. If there were no accidents, Chianyu would be killed silently on the night of extermination. Of course, Chianyu will certainly not accept fate. However, it is not easy for him, who has no talent, to get ahead, even to survive in this cruel world of ninja. Fortunately, he turned on the god-level sign-in system. As long as you sign in at various places, you can get rich rewards. He has tolerated for many years, and his current strength has long been unfathomable. System, open the properties panel. Check. Ding. Host's property panel is being generated. Ding. The property panel is generated. God-level sign-in system. Host. Uchiha Qianyu. Identity. Konoha Village Genin. Resident sign-in and clock-in system. Konoha Village. Current rewards. Thunder Fruit open black lens bracket 62% capacity development progress close black lens bracket. Marine 6 styles open black lens bracket competence development progress 95%. Observation Haki advanced. Special ability. Hard net. Coverage area. 10 kilometers. Armament Haki advanced. Close black lens bracket. Conqueror's Haki open black lens bracket advanced. Close black lens bracket. Sharingan open black lens bracket 3 Guyu. It's 66% progress since opening Mangekyo Sharingan. Close black lens bracket. Fire style Grandmaster open black lens bracket great fireball technique. Phoenix fire technique. Long Yan Sing's technique and so on. Close black lens bracket. 3 body technique Grandmaster. The next sign in refresh time. 1 day. The next time the system refreshes the sign in location. Konoha Forest. Note. Sign in at the place refreshed by the system to get the most generous reward. Chianu smiled slightly. 1 day, will it finally be refreshed? Konoha Forest. It seems to be on the battlefield. With his current strength, he is absolutely super strong in the entire ninja realm. However, it cannot be said that it is extremely high. So, there is no sign in reward at Naga Shrine. It seems it's time to go to a wider world. Is it the Third Ninja World War? From here, on the stage of the world. Chapter 3. Advertise here. The Third Ninja War. The fuse is the disappearance of Third Qianyu. After Third Qianyu disappeared, Sand Shinobi tried his best to find Third Qianyu's trace, but he still couldn't find it. Instead, Sand Shinobi is in a state of no leader. Due to the vigorous search, not only did Sand Shinobi's defense forces become understaffed, but the other 4 countries also received news of the disappearance of Third Qianyu. And Cloud Shinobi Village, the country of thunder, which advocates military expansion, took advantage of the fire and robbed Sunagaku, causing Sand Shinobi to fall into chaos. The Kingdom of Thunder even took the opportunity to declare war on the country of soil and the country of fire at the same time. Thinking of this, Chianu couldn't help but smile. This thunder country is really arrogant. However, as a traverser, he certainly knows the truth. The so-called disappearance of Third Qianyu was actually killed by Sasori of the Red Sand and made the strongest puppet. These are meaningless to Uchiha Qianyu. The most important thing is my current situation. From Fugaku's mouth, he can naturally hear that the contradiction between the Konoha village leaders and the Uchiha clan has been intensified. On the verge of outbreak at any time. And this time the Third Ninja World War was undoubtedly a process of reshuffling the cards. Without Chianyu's appearance, the Uchiha clan will suffer heavy losses in the battle with Kurigake. Shisui, regarded as a hero, was brainwashed by Third Hokage and became a loyal fan of Will of Fire. It's a pity that even if he was like this, he was still killed by Danzo and took his right eye away. He also chose to commit suicide in despair. Since then, the power of the Uchiha clan has plummeted. The last fate is that night. Annihilation night. Of course, since Uchiha Qianyu came here, he would never allow such a thing to happen again. Patriarch, Fugaku's home. Chianu, what are you going to do? Uchiha Qianyu smiled lightly. Since it is an order from Hokage, if we don't follow it, isn't it the same as declaring war directly? Do you really want to stop Kurigake? Go, of course I will, but I am enough. What? You? Uchiha Qianyu smiled slightly. Don't worry, the patriarch, a little Kurigake, is not in my eyes. Don't underestimate the enemy, Kurigake also has many masters. It's okay, for me, it's a kind of exercise. Uchiha Fugaku was silent for a moment. I absolutely believe in your strength. Moreover, over the years, of course I can see that you are much stronger than before. It's just that as long as you reveal your strength, you will be targeted by some people. Chianu calmly said, you mean the people of third generation and Danzo, right? Fugaku was silent. The entire Uchiha clan is under their watch. Can I hide it for the rest of my life? Sooner or later, you have to shoot. Now is the best time. I've seen the third generation's wishful thinking clearly, so how can I let him succeed? After this battle, the entire ninja world will know the name of Uchiha Qianyu. Fugaku smiled slightly. I believe you. Uchiha Qianyu at this moment. Farewell to Uchiha Fugaku, he is ready to go. However, walking in Konoha village, 2 people suddenly came across. Chianyu's heart moved slightly. That turned out to be Namikaze Minato and Uzumaki Kushina. The 3 of them are ninjas in the same class and graduated from Konoha Shinobi School together. But later, Namikaze Minato has been very active, and he can be called the new man of third generation. But Uchiha Qianyu has been tolerant and low-key. Kushina, I'm going to fight. Namikaze Minato was saying this to Kushina. Uzumaki Kushina felt helpless. Well, be careful. Don't you have anything else to say to me? Uzumaki Kushina shook his head. Namikaze Minato sighed. He has always liked Kushina silently, but this red-haired beauty has always been lukewarm to herself. Kushina was hesitating, and suddenly saw a figure. Immediately, both eyes began to shine. Ah, Chianu. Namikaze Minato was taken aback. The whole person is completely different. The light in the eyes is the love that I have never had for myself. Namikaze Minato looked back and saw Uchiha Qianyu. It's him. But, he is obviously just a man of ordinary talent. Uzumaki Kushina was overjoyed and ran all the way towards Chianu. You finally appeared. I have been looking for you all these years, where did you hide? Uchiha Qianyu looked at the little pepper and smiled slightly. Fugaku said that Chianu had never really made a move. Actually it is not. When he was a child, he made one shot. That was when he accidentally discovered that Uzumaki Kushina was kidnapped by Cloud Shinobi's ninjas. Chianu tracked the enemy according to the clues, and successfully killed him, saving Kushina. From then on, this red-haired girl with a hot appearance and a gentle heart fell in love with him. It's just that Chianu has been practicing at Naga Shrine for these years, and Kushina has never seen him. Chianu glanced at her. Unlike what she remembered, she really has grown up. Become a girl who is in bud, but with more charm. Because of this, it is of course impossible for Kushina to be with Namikaze Minato like the original. I have been waiting silently for myself. Thinking of this, Uchiha Qianyu couldn't help feeling slightly moved. Kushina, grown up. Chianu gently stretched out his hand, stroked her head, and stroked her smooth long hair by the way. Kushina's face flushed suddenly. Ah, Chianu, don't be like this. Namikaze Minato clenched his fist suddenly. No wonder, Kushina has always ignored her showing of love. It turns out that in her heart, she has already. It turned out to be Chianu. I haven't seen him for many years. Namikaze Minato still had a smile on his face, saying hello to Chianu. Chianu nodded calmly and responded. Namikaze Minato said, I heard that the Uchiha clan has been sent to fight Kurigakure. Are you going to the battlefield too? Yes. Ah, Chianu, are you going too? Kushina's voice trembled suddenly, her face turned pale. Namikaze Minato sighed in his heart. Her attitude is completely different from when she first treated herself. Namikaze Minato couldn't help but said, me too. Well, Chianu, how about we make a bet with this war? Uchiha Qianyu smiled slightly. Oh, what bet? Chapter 4. Advertise here. The smile on Namikaze Minato's face disappeared a bit. Of course, winning or losing is determined by battle. As for the outcome, I think that the whole ninja world will naturally have fair opinions. Uchiha Qianyu smiled slightly. Of course he could see the confidence of Namikaze Minato. He does have the qualifications for self-confidence. After this battle, Konoha's yellow flash will tremble the world. Let the ninja village of other countries set up regulations, as long as you see the yellow flash, you can immediately retreat, and you will not be punished. But now I want to make a bet with Uchiha Qianyu, but I am afraid it is not because of reputation and prestige. Obviously, it's for Uzumaki Kushina. Of course Kushina was faintly aware of it, but she was even more disgusted with Namikaze Minato's use of herself as a bet. Uchiha Qianyu shook his head and smiled. Minato, war is not a child's play, it is a tragic thing that affects countless innocent civilians and causes many people to die. Bet on war. I haven't been so frantic. Namikaze Minato was taken aback for a moment, and the whole person flushed. In fact, why doesn't he know? It's just that because Uzumaki Kushina was present, he was young and frivolous and lost his mind. When Chianu was criticized at this time, he immediately understood, and his whole body trembled slightly. Chianu, you are right. It was my fault. After speaking, a look of guilt flashed in his eyes, then quietly glanced at Kushina, sighed unwillingly, turned and left. Uchiha Qianyu shook his head. Namikaze Minato is indeed a hero. It's a pity that he was brainwashed by third generation, and even if he became fourth Hokage later, he was no more than a puppet of third generation. Uzumaki Kushina watched Namikaze Minato leave and heaved a sigh of relief. She smiled and said, Chianu, I'm really afraid you will really bet with him. Chianu smiled and said, you really don't know what he means. Kushina blushed suddenly. Isn't it because you were there that he was so gagged? This Minato seems to have been secretly in love with you. Kushina blushed. I know, but in my heart, there has always been only. Uchiha Qianyu smiled slightly. Just what? Kushina was shy and couldn't continue. No, nothing. I don't see it, you little pepper still have such a shy time. Uchiha Qianyu squeezed her little face lightly. Kushina flushed suddenly. Hate, don't pinch my face. Chianu let go of her, and the two naturally walked forward. It is like a young couple in love walking on a date. Chianu, are you going to go to the battlefield? Yes. Then, you must be careful and come back safely. I will always be waiting for you. Chianu teased her deliberately. What are you waiting for me? Kushina blushed again. When you come back, I will. Chianu was taken aback. Don't set this flag for me. Kushina blinked big eyes. Chianu, What do you mean? Ah, no, nothing. Really, you are as mysterious as you were when you were a kid, saying some strange things, and you wouldn't tell me. Have it, yes. Do you remember that time? Although the two hadn't seen each other for many years, there was no gap at all, and they soon began to communicate affectionately. The next day, Chianu led a three-person team of the Uchiha family to the battlefield. Although he said that he could solve it by himself, even for the sake of obeying orders on the surface, it was impossible for the Uchiha clan to send him alone. In addition to his team, Fugaku also sent 3 other Jonin, and several other teams. Chianyu's sign in refresh time is coming soon. And the refresh location designated by the system is in the forest outside Konoha village. Chianyu led the team towards the battlefield there. In his team, where did this Chianyu come from? Why, the patriarch will appoint him as the captain, and we must obey his orders absolutely. I don't know, after the tragic death of the former captain, the patriarch said that he would help us find the strongest person to be the captain, but this Chianyu is still a child at all, right? Does he understand the cruelty of war? Moreover, I have never heard of his name. Does he have the strength to lead us? Hush, this is an order from the patriarch, and you must not disobey it. It's not that I don't believe in the patriarch, but this is war. The captain is responsible for the lives of all members of the entire team, it is not a trifling matter. Does the patriarch treat war as a trifling matter? Yes, I want to see how capable this man named Chianyu is. The three-person team whispered quietly behind the flying Chianyu, thinking that they had not been found. But they didn't know, they were all heard clearly by Chianyu. Observation Haki. Advanced. Special ability. Hard network. Coverage. 10 kilometers. Within the entire 10 kilometers, Chianyu could see all the words, deeds, and actions of everyone clearly and plainly. Even if you want to be an enemy, your mental activities will be seen through. You can deal with each move in advance. Therefore, Chianyu certainly heard the conversations of these people. However, he didn't care about it at all. His strength does not need the recognition of these little people. Suddenly, stop. What's the captain? There are enemies, and, very powerful. Where? Why didn't my Sharingan perceive it? One of them, Chunin, wondered. Chianyu glanced at him and shook his head disdainfully. The meaning is very clear. You are still far away. The three of them are a little skeptical, but they can only obey orders. Chianyu led the three and approached quietly, and saw a familiar scene in memory. 7 ninja swords. Moreover, it is Kurigaku's first generation of Ninja 7. But it surrounded the young Might Guy, Shiranui Genma and Ebisu. Obviously, they were playing with these three people as prey. Chianyu knew that in the original plot, this is the arrival of Might Guy's father, Might Dai, and he opened the 8 inner gates formation at the expense of his life, damaging the enemy. The ending is, Might wears and died, and the 7 ninja swordsmen also suffered heavy losses. 4 people were killed, the other 3 were also seriously injured and managed to escape. Of course, now that Chianyu sees this scene, the ending will naturally not be the same again. A few Konoha bastards, just in time to come and play. Hey, it's fun to sew them with my long knife at this time, right? Or use my explosive knife droplets to blow them up to slurp. The 3 young Konoha shinobi were shivering with fear. Only Might Guy remained calm. Our Konoha ninja will not be afraid of death, kill it if you want. Oh, the boy with thick eyebrows is a bit courageous, but I don't know if he will be so stiff when he is dying. The 7 approached the 3 children step by step. Stop it, 7 adults bully 3 children. You are not embarrassed, I feel hot eyes. It was Uchiha Qianyu who appeared. Huh, who are you? The 7 ninja swordsmen were startled at once, He was completely unaware of Uchiha Qianyu's chakra. No trace of him was found. Chianyu smiled slightly. Uchiha Qianyu, your corpse collector. Of course, I will accept these 7 ninja swords, as a souvenir is good. The 7 ninja swords suddenly furious. Arrogant kid. Court death. Chianyu smiled indifferently. Very well, in the first battle, the 7 of you ninja swords will be used for the operation. Chapter 6. Advertise here. The 7 ninja swordsmen were furious when they heard this. Who are they? The absolute elite ninja who has long been famous. It can be called a big killer in the entire water country. According to legend, 7 people can join forces to conquer a small country. Now, I was so provoked by a brat, an unknown person. Boy, you are looking for death. It is Kurigaku who uses the blasting knife droplets, and his character is the most brutal and tyrannical. He roared, and suddenly disappeared in place, and the droplets of explosive knives in the 7 shinobi swords had already slashed fiercely from midair. Speed, as fast as lightning. However, too slow. Chianyu shook his head disdainfully. It seemed to take a step to the side at random. However, this seemingly slow movement completely failed Wu Li Jinba's fierce blow. What? Jinhachi's attack failed. That kid is so quick. No, that's not right. It's not a physical form. His movements are not fast, but he seems to have seen through the attack in advance and avoided it first. How can this be? Even Sharingan cannot predict the opponent's offensive. With just one blow, everyone in the Ninja 7 was shocked. Of course Uchiha Qianyu is not using Sharingan. It's the ability of observation Haki. Advanced, Hard network. Coverage, 10 kilometers. In one piece, Enel's priests can predict the opponent's attack. Not to mention, it was Chianyu's high-level hard network at this moment. Wu Li was surprised for a moment, and immediately turned calm. The kid is kind of interesting, but it's a pity that some attacks can't be defended. Burst. His blade flipped abruptly, and the back of the blade on the other side full of detonating talisman burst out a terrifying explosion. Chianyu only avoided the blade, and did not go far. This blow immediately exploded from his close distance. Team leader. The three Uchiha teammates immediately exclaimed. However, the captain's order was impossible. They can't act rashly either. Might Guy, Shiranui Genma, and Ebisu were even more shocked. Is it dead? Sure enough, he's a nasty kid, vulnerable. What are you proud of? Suddenly, a piece of wood flew out of the explosion. Body replacement technique. What? Wu Li was shocked, but the next moment. A flash of thunder burst out instantly. The sound of terrifying thunder fell between the heaven and the earth. Lightning style technique. The rice wife. Chianyu reappeared in the same place in an instant, and gently stretched out his wrist. A terrifying electric light roaring with thunder suddenly turned into a straight line and burst out. Boom. With a sound, Wu Li was caught off guard, and was directly bombarded by lightning on his body. Half of his body turned into coke. Thump. There were no pairs and fell to the ground tragically. The blasting knife droplets in his hand also immediately fell to the ground. Damn kid. The other 6 Ninja 7 were shocked. They knew immediately. Underestimate the enemy. This kid is definitely a master of masters. Go together. Kill him. Ninfa. Mist shinobi technique. Loquat Juzo carries a decapitating sword on his back, but Jain uses Karigakur's signature water-style technique. For a time, fog filled the entire outer forest of Konoha. Do you have this trick? In front of my Sharingan and observation Haki, isn't this self-defeating? Chianyu sneered. Seeing the purple chakra airflow bursting out of the Loquat Shizang body, it turned into a high-speed rushing streamer. The decapitating knife was already in his hand, and he was about to explode a killer blow at any time. Die. Loquat Juzo's decapitating knife locked Chianyu's position according to the voice, and then suddenly slashed down. Decapitate with a single blow. However, but is that so? One hand. Slightly, the beheading sword that would kill in one blow was firmly grasped in the palm of the hand. Can't move. What? Armament Haki. Advanced. Uchiha Qianyu's arm wrapped around Armament Haki in an instant, and it was as black as a profound iron. With a violent grasp, he gripped the decapitating knife. Then, pull hard. Snapped. The decapitating knife broke immediately in the middle. Die. Chianyu violently raised his foot and kicked it out. Marine's highest physique secret. 6 styles. Tempest kick. Bai Lei. It was Chianyu's thunderous slash that broke out after fusing the 6 physical skills and thunder fruit. Tear it. With a sound, the body of the Loquat Shizang broke apart from the middle and turned into 2 pieces. End with the beheading broadsword. Lightning style ninja. Let me do it. Black Ho Thunder Teeth. Weapon. Thunder Knife Tooth. Lightning style. Thunder Teeth. The double knives in his hand instantly crossed and stored electricity, turning into thunder wings. The fierce electric light tore the air, cut the water mist that was dissipating, and slashed at Chianyu fiercely. Chianyu sneered, playing thunder in front of me. Court death. 1,000,000 volts. Discharge. Boom. The terrifying lightning burst out suddenly. The 2 rays of lightning intertwined violently, just a moment. Thunder Tooth was torn apart by Chianyu's electric light, even being held up, flew back, and hit the Black Ho Thunder Tooth fiercely. What? He screamed and flew out immediately. Flounder liberation. This trick. The 2 circular holes of the double sword flounder emit gas, and the whole flathead flounder glows as a whole, forming a chakra aggregate, and then emits a chakra light ball that bursts out, with powerful destructive power. Long Knife Ninja Earth Spider Sewing. Long Knife and Stitch. A needle-like chakra thread bursts out, attacking from the ground, cutting off the enemy's feet. Samahata Shi Chi Cut. The sharp thorns on the big knife Samahata pierce the bandage to reveal, pressing tightly against the enemy's body and tearing it repeatedly. Dull Knife Kabuto Cut. Strike the enemy with a wide blade, and then hit the back of the blade with a hammer, claiming to be able to break all defenses. Seeing that his comrades were defeated by Chianyu, the remaining 4 finally stopped keeping their hands. At the same time broke out his own stunt. 4 ninja swords, at the same time displayed the strongest offensive. Chianyu smiled slightly. This is a bit interesting, but it's a pity. Still vulnerable. Let you see my true power. He raised his arms high, and the horrible electric light crazily condensed, bursting out with power like the sky and the earth at any time. Gods. Sanctions. Chapter 7. Advertise here. Chianyu finally broke out the terrifying power of Thunder Fruit. Then, shave, moonwalk, step into the void, condescending. Together with observation Haki's precise prediction. This most terrifying god's sanction has turned into an extremely strong and extremely huge pillar of thunder. Boom. A fierce bombardment. In the mist shinobi technique that finally dispersed. As soon as the 4 figures appeared, suddenly. Rumble. The terrifying thunder sounded in their ears in an instant. A violent lightning bolt slammed on each of them. Just a blow. All the ninjutsu moves of the 4 men failed. And everyone's bodies were hit, instantly as if they were burnt, emitting bursts of burnt smell. Thump, 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 thump. The remaining 4 people were all down to the ground. 7 ninja swords, so far. Completely annihilated. The mist finally dispersed. The 3 Uchiha teammates, Might Guy, Shiranui Genma, and Ebisu's 3 children saw a scene that was shocking and unforgettable. Uchiha Qianyu stood calmly above the void. And on the ground, the corpses of the 7 ninja swordsmen, the 7 famous ninjas, just collapsed to the ground, motionless. The 7 ninja swords that were famous in the entire ninja world also fell to the ground, scattered and thrown away. This is the captain, defeated with the power of one person. No, he killed the 7 ninja swords. Is this still a human? Horror. Terrible. No wonder. Lord Patriarch said, our new captain is the strongest. Unbelievable. The 3 children of Might Guy were even more stunned. Afterwards, there was an unparalleled admiration for Uchiha Qianyu. Captain, did you really kill the 7 ninja swords by yourself? Chianu fell to the ground, and all 3 of his companions opened their eyes wide, and asked in disbelief. Uchiha Qianyu smiled slightly. Yes, these 7 people are just relying on the power of the shinobi, and they are not that powerful in themselves. An enemy of this level, I still don't care about it. The 3 were shocked again. That's the 7 ninja swords who are famous throughout the ninja world. In the eyes of the captain, it's not worth mentioning. From then on, the 3 of them completely surrendered to Uchiha Qianyu and admired them endlessly. The 3 children also came over. Might Guy said excitedly, thank you for your life-saving grace. Excuse me, my benefactor, what is your name? Uchiha Qianyu. Okay, I remember this name, Might Guy. I will repay it in the future. Guy. At this moment, a voice suddenly came. Uchiha Qianyu smiled. Genin of Konoha village, is Might wearing it? Sure enough, a man with the same thick eyebrows came out. It is Might Guy's father, Might Guy. He hugged Guy in his arms, tears bursting with tears. Great, Guy, it's great that you are fine. Guy hurriedly said, Dad, this man saved our lives. Might Guy hurriedly said, I heard it, is it Chianu from the Uchiha clan? Great kindness, nothing in return. Chianu smiled. No need. No, Might Daisian, report, if I can't give it back, I won't be at ease for the rest of my life. From now on, what's the matter with you Chianu? I will die, Might Guy won. Chianyu's heart moved. In the eyes of others, Might Guy is just a 10,000 years old genin. But in fact, he knows that this person's strength is absolutely terrifying. Otherwise, it would be impossible to defeat the 7 ninja swords by oneself. However, now that there is no such opportunity to perform, I am afraid that no one knows his strength. Okay, I wrote down this sentence. Might Guy gave a shiny smile and gave a thumbs up. By the way, I might wear nothing else to repay, this book is for you. Before the words were over, Might Guy had already returned to Konoha with Might Guy and the other 2 children in a hurry. Chianyu gave a wry smile and glanced at the book in his hand. 8 Inner Gates Formation. Really? Ding dong. Congratulations to host for winning the 8 Inner Gates Formation. You can also gain experience by signing in and upgrade this technique. Chianyu was overjoyed. 8 Inner Gates Formation. It can be called the first physical skill in Hokage Ninja. Almost kicked out the existence of the finale. With this strongest physical skill, one's own strength is bound to skyrocket again. He temporarily put away 8 Inner Gates Formation. Afterwards, he packed up the spoils and put away all the 7 ninja swords of the famous ninja world. As for the bodies of the Ninja 7, a great fireball technique, all turned into ashes. On the battlefield, who cares about these little things? Let's go, keep going. Yes, Captain. At this moment, the 3 comrades are playing against them at will. Kurigakure's ninja swordsman is a major force. Now that Chianyu is completely killed, it can be described as a heavy loss. In addition, other forces are easier to deal with. Chianyu went all the way, rushing to another battlefield. Suddenly, ding dong. Congratulations to host for signing in again. Sign into the venue, system refresh location, Konoha Outer Forest. Congratulations to host for getting rewards. B rank ninjutsu, fire style big flame bomb. Class B ninjutsu, fire style fire dragon fireball. B level ninjutsu, fire style Howlong fire technique. B level ninjutsu, fire style extinguish the fire. Congratulations to host Thunder Fruit's ability development progress increased by 8%, and the current progress is 70%. Gain new Thunder Fruit abilities. 30 million volts Thunderbird. 30 million volts Thunder Beast. 60 million volts Thunder Dragon. Congratulations to the host Marine 6 styles development progress increased by 5%, the current progress is 100%. Acquired the new ability of Marine 6 styles. 6 types of supreme profundity, 6 king spears. Congratulations, the development progress of host Sharingan has increased by 5%, and the current progress is 71%. Gain new abilities in Sharingan. Illusion Foam. Illusion Shiranui. Illusion Songhang Technique. Illusion Mirror World Turn. Uchiha Qianyu couldn't help being overjoyed. Fear. Such a generous reward. I really didn't get out of the mountain in vain. System, check the current properties panel. Properties panel is opening. Chapter 8. Advertise here. Host. Uchiha Qianyu. Identity. Konoha Village Genin. Resident sign in and clock in system. Konoha Village. Current rewards. Thunder Fruit Open Black Lens Bracket 70% Capacity Development Progress Close Black Lens Bracket. Marine 6 Styles Open Black Lens Bracket 100% Capacity Development Progress Close Black Lens Bracket. Observation Haki Advanced. Special Ability. Hard Net. Coverage Area. 10 kilometers. Armament Haki Advanced. Close Black Lens Bracket. Conqueror's Haki Open Black Lens Bracket Advanced. Close Black Lens Bracket. Sharingan Open Black Lens Bracket 3 Guyu. 71% of the progress has been made since the opening of Mangekyo Sharingan. Close Black Lens Bracket. Illusion. Illusion Foam. Illusion Shiranui. Illusion Songhang Technique. Illusion Mirror World Turn. Fire Style Grandmaster. Great Fireball Technique. Phoenix Fire Technique. Long Yan Sing's Technique. Great Flame Bomb. Fire Dragon Ball. Howlong Fire Technique. The fire is extinguished. 3 Body Technique Grandmaster. The next sign in refresh time. 1 month. The next sign in refresh location. Generating. ... Powerful. Too strong. Chianu couldn't help being overjoyed. This time, I am afraid that my strength has doubled. Facing any enemy, the probability of winning is much greater. But, will the next sign in refresh be 1 month away? And the location is still being generated. A smile appeared at the corner of Chianyu's mouth. Leading 3 companions of the Uchiha clan, continued to rush towards the battlefield. Suddenly, his heart moved slightly. The ninja with Konoha village is surrounded by the enemy. Sneak in with me. Yes, Captain. Under Chianyu's leadership, the team rushed in immediately and quietly entered the battlefield ahead. With the abilities of Sharingan and Observation Haki's hard network, Chianyu's insight can be said to be unmatched under the dual blessings. It's them. When he came closer, he saw the 3 ninjas of Konoha village surrounded by Kurigakure. Akamaiki Dingza, Yamanaka Hayi, Aburame Jawei. The legendary Ino Shika Cho, but one person is missing. But afterwards, Chianyu understood that Naruto must be the commander of the battlefield at this time, responsible for commanding the battle behind the battle. Naruto is missing, and Aburame Jawei is added. The combination of these 3 people still possesses terrifying combat power. However, now, they are surrounded by Kurigakure groups, and under the siege of hundreds of ninjas, all 3 of them are exhausted. The leader of Kurigakure, Green. His right eye was transplanted from the blood of the Konoha village Hyuga clan. Byakugan. Reinforcements for Konoha village. Don't hide, come out. Chianyu smiled slightly and said that Byakugan's insight was better than Sharingan, which did make sense. He led 3 of Uchiha's companions out. Akamaiki Dingza trio was overjoyed, a companion in Konoha village. But, looking at the companions who came to help, the 3 of them looked at each other, and a touch of anxiety emerged. Who is this? Of course it's good to have reinforcements, but the unknown, those who are not strong enough to come to rescue. Just die. Shing glanced at Chianyu, but his eyes fell behind him. Those 3 Uchiha ninjas. That is, Kurigakure's shinobi. Good. Chianyu temporarily lent 3 of the 7 ninja swords to 3 companions for use. Improve combat power. However, in Qing's eyes, he was extremely furious in an instant. Chianyu looked back and smiled calmly. Ah, that's good. How can these 3 shinobi swords fall into your hands? What happened to the 7 ninja swordsmen? Chianyu said calmly. The 7 people. It's all dead in my hands. What? For a time, the entire battlefield was silent. Whether it's all Kurigakure ninjas, or Akamaiki Dingza 3 people are stunned and shocked. 7 ninja swords. Famous for the existence of the entire ninja world. He died in the hands of this little-known young man. Qing suddenly furious. Impossible. Never possible. Chianyu shrugged. Believe it or not, what does it matter to me? Qing suddenly calmed down. He can be called Mizukage's right-hand man, and half the commander of this war. Boy, I don't care if the 7 ninja swords die in your hands, but the 7 ninja swords belong to our Kurigakure. Hand them over quickly, I can keep you alive. Chianyu sneered. Oh, in that case, the Byakugan in your right eye is even more unique to the Hyuga clan of Konoha village. Why don't you hand it over first? Qing was furious. You. This is the most important trophy he has obtained in this ninja world war. Byakugan. Of course he won't hand it over. At this time, being robbed of by a kid like Chianyu, he suddenly became furious. Court death. Water style. Water waves. Boom. Qing launched Kurigakure's proud ninjutsu, water style. A terrifying water flow like a torrent waterfall spurted out of the mouth instantly. Coming towards Chianyu. Chianyu sneered. Fire style. The fire is extinguished. What? Using fire style restrained by water style. Is he crazy? However, next moment. Boom. A terrifying flame like the sea, instantly soaring into the sky. In an instant, the green water style water rushed into it. Hiss. A burst of water mist filled, and steam rose violently. Suddenly, the water style water rush wave was burnt clean. However, Chianyu's fierce fire was extinguished, but his power was undiminished, and he instantly burned towards all Kurigaku's ninjas. Burn everything. What? Kurigaku's ninja screamed, and was burned by the violent flames when there was no time to escape. The rest of them all cast water-style skills at once, frantically resisting this terrifying flame. The green head bears the brunt. Although he barely used the water-style technique to resist, he was still extinguished by the fierce fire but burned. Half of his body was burned and festered, and my heart was so painful. You. A person like you can be considered the leader of Kurigaku. It seems that Kurigaku is nothing more than that. Die. Chianu took advantage of the situation and used the new ability he had just acquired. 30 million volts Thunderbird. Hiss. With a roar of thunder, a terrifying lightning bird flew away suddenly, piercing through Qing's body in an instant. In the next moment, he was unbelievable. Crashed to the ground. Chapter 9. Advertise here. The leader of Kurigaku, Qing. Die. Next moment. Kill. With Chianyu's order, the pig, deer and insects, along with the 3 Uchiha ninjas behind them, killed them together. The Kurigaku ninja who had been extinguished by Chianyu's arrogance and killed a heavy loss. I saw the leader Qing being killed instantly. All of a sudden, morale plummeted, and the military was in chaos. Where is there any mentality to resist the fight? Immediately messed up, holding their heads and scurrying. On Chianyu's side, Kurigaku's remaining ninjas who killed Kurigaku screamed again and again. When the battle was over, Kurigaku ninja corpses were all over the floor. Akamaiki Dingza, Aburame Shiwei, Yamanaka Uichi only breathed a sigh of relief. The 3 of them also reached their limit, collapsed to the ground, gasping for breath. Many thanks for the rescue, otherwise the 3 of us will undoubtedly die today. I haven't asked the benefactor's name yet. Uchiha Qianyu. Chianu. This name seems a bit strange. However, from today onwards, it will be famous all over the world and shock the entire ninja realm. Chianu smiled slightly, not paying attention. At this moment. Ding Zuo. Hi Yi. Did you hear that? Please reply. Ah, it's Lujo's voice. Chianu knew that as Konoha's commander Luju, he could use secret methods with ninjas to communicate with everyone on the battlefield. Luju, we are here. I still treat you as dead. Yes, it was almost a bit, but fortunately, reinforcements saved our lives. Reinforcement. Who is it? Uchiha Qianyu. Nara Luju on the other side was taken aback. Chianu, is it a member of the Uchiha clan to fight Kurigaku? I was able to save you from being surrounded by so many Kurigaku ninjas. Akamaiki Dingza smiled honestly. It's more than that, we also killed the 7 ninja swords. Kurigaku is gone. What? Nara Luju was shocked suddenly. 7 ninja swords. This prestigious title, all died in the hands of this young man. Uchiha Qianyu, could it be that the Uchiha clan is going to rise again? It seems that we have to report to the top. On the other side, Qianyu saved the lives of 3 Jonin and won the absolute respect of the 3. Their original mission was not to face Miss Shinobi. It was only after completing the mission that his vitality was severely injured, and he encountered the Kurigaku army led by Qing, so he almost died. After being rescued by Chianu now, he decided to return to Konoha village for business. Chianu killed the 7 ninja swords and the leader Qing successively, causing Kurigaku to suffer heavy losses and losing more than half of his combat power. So he decided to return to the village temporarily. The group returned to Konoha village, and the 3 bid farewell to Chianu and left by themselves. Chianu returned to the Uchiha clan residence. Fugaku went to meet him in person. Chianu explained the previous battle. Fugaku couldn't help but be surprised and happy. Chianu, this time you are a Megatron. Successfully killed the 7 ninja swordsmen and killed Kurigaku's leader Qing. This task of facing Kurigaku was perfect. No, beyond perfection. Uchiha Qianyu sneered. I just want to show those who are staring at my Uchiha clan. How powerful is Uchiha's background? If you want to start with our clan, you have to weigh yourself, enough weight. Fugaku was overjoyed. Okay. Chianyu, with you, my Uchiha clan is hopeful for revival. The other side. Hokage office. Third Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzen, after listening to Nara Shikajo's report, was taken aback and frowned. Luju, you go down first. Yes, Master Hokage. Nara Luju just left, and a man walked out from behind the scenes. It is Shimura Danzo. He sneered. Hiruzen, you always refuse to kill the Uchiha clan. It's good now, this naturally evil race will soon have another Uchiha Madara. Sarutobi Hiruzen smoked a bag of cigarettes and his face was very gloomy. I have been spying on the Uchiha clan secretly, but the name Chianu did not pay too much attention to it. He is a ninja who graduated in the same class as Minato, but after the direct selling disappeared, I didn't care too much. I didn't expect. Shimura Danzo sneered. If the Uchiha clan is not hiding evil, why should such a genius be hidden? Hiruzen, don't you understand their ambitions? Sarutobi Hiruzen was silent for a moment. Of course I know the inevitable war between the village and the Uchiha clan. But, at this moment, Konoha village is making enemies on all sides, internal and external troubles, it is definitely not the time to tear Uchiha. He sighed. I wanted Uchiha to fight Kurigakure and consume their power, and then send Shisui who was loyal to Konoha village to clean up the battlefield. As a result, Uchiha suffered a heavy loss, and the only hero is Shisui who was loyal to Konoha. Who would have thought that this man named Chianu turned out to be born and broke all plans? Kill the 7 ninja swords. Kill Kurigakure's leader Blue. I'm afraid the prestige of this man will be in full swing. Even I can't attack him easily. The 2 old men of the old age, although the city mansion is extremely deep, at this moment, they are all in silence. Danzo finally spoke. Hiruzen, it's time. Indecisiveness leads to disaster. Sarutobi Hiruzen spit out a smoke ring and shook his head. Half of his face was hidden in the darkness, and he said in a deep voice. No, at least, I still have 2 chess pieces that can compete against this Uchiha Qianyu. Chapter 10. Advertise here. Shimura Danzo frowned. You mean Namikaze Minato and Uchiha Shisui? Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded. Good. These 2 people are loyal to me in Konoha, and they are rare geniuses. As long as these 2 are there, you don't have to care about Uchiha Qianyu. Shimura Danzo still sneered. Namikaze Minato, it's really amazing. However, it is not certain whether this kid will be controlled by others. As for Shisui, although he seems to be loyal, he is also of the Uchiha clan after all. And his eyes, especially the strongest illusion distinguished heavenly gods, are too dangerous and terrifying. Hiruzen, as long as you give an order, I can attack him. No, Sarutobi Hiruzen shouted immediately. Danzo, there are some things you did, and I didn't say anything, but I don't allow this thing. Needless to say, you can withdraw too. Shimura Danzo sneered and retreated bitterly. Hiruzen, this old thing, is still not cruel enough. It seems that it is time to speed up the progress of cooperation with Orochimaru. Hiruzen is getting old. Konoha suffered a heavy loss in this war. I think he is not far from abdicating. At that time, you can support Orochimaru in the upper ranks and be my puppet. The only obstacle is Namikaze Minato, but he is too young after all. By the way, there is also the disaster of Uchiha Qianyu. The routes must be watched closely, otherwise. I'm afraid the ship will capsize in the gutter. And in Hokage's office where he was the only one left. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked gloomy. Anbu, exist. Go and call Shisui. Yes, Uchiha Qianyu. It looks like it's time for Shisui to test his depth. Konoha village at this time. Uchiha Qianyu, this name was born. Soon it became the object of all people in Konoha village vying to talk and discuss. A new genius of the Uchiha clan. With my own power, all the 7 ninja swords were beheaded. Kurigakure's 7 ninja swords have been confiscated, and they have all become my Konoha. It's so strong. What is a hero? This is a hero. More than that, I heard that he was alone against the leader of Kurigakure, and the siege of hundreds of ninjas, killing them, defeating hundreds of elite ninjas, and saving Ding Zuo, Hichi and Aburame away. Quote. Chianu. This name is already famous throughout the ninja realm. Yes, everyone in Konoha village is saying that Chianu may have been sent by God to save Konoha village and end this long and tragic war. Uchiha Chianu, this name will surely become the eternal and immortal glory of Konoha village. Fugaku smiled slightly. Chianu, now the entire Konoha village is telling about your heroic deeds. Your prestige and popularity can be said to be in full swing. Uchiha Chianu took a sip of tea and smiled. Our Uchiha clan has been low-key for too long, and it's time to declare our strength to the world. Fugaku laughed and said, not bad. In fact, no matter how you plan, the winner in the final analysis belongs to the strong. Now that the Uchiha clan has you, I feel a lot more settled. Chianu smiled. Is there anything happening at 3rd Hokage? 3rd Generation Project. According to the report of the children in the clan, Naruto reported your incident to the 3rd Generation Project. Then 3rd Generation Project and Danzo met to discuss the matter, but the final result was unhappy. Chianu sneered. Of course these 2 old foxes won't let me go. Yeah, you have to be more careful these days. It's okay, there are not many people who can really threaten me in Konoha village now. That's true. How is the situation on other battlefields? Fugaku said. Cloud Shinobi invaded Sunagakure, but was successfully resisted by 3rd Kasugage's disciple Luo Sha. Cloud Shinobi village declared war with Konoha and Iwagakure at the same time. Very arrogant. However, they do have arrogant capital. I heard that Cloud Shinobi village's new generation of Abi's combination swept Iwagakure with a powerful knife. Plus that terrifying 3rd Raikage, with the strongest spear and the strongest shield, almost no one can stop it. Fugaku sighed again. Cloud Shinobi village will also declare war with Konoha, especially the Abi combination is very difficult, but I heard that 3rd Hokage has sent his confidant, Namikaze Minato to meet the enemy. Chianyu's heart moved slightly. Namikaze Minato. This battle will also be his battle of fame. Faced with Abi's combination alone, he did not lose sight of it. But, at this time, Chianyu was an early Megatron ninja, and his reputation had already reached its peak. After leaving Fugaku, Uchiha Qianyu was returning to his home. Suddenly, I noticed the breath of monitoring myself. Is it Anbu and the root? That's all else, this person. It's Uchiha Shisui. Chianu immediately understood that Uchiha Shisui was the person sent by the third generation to monitor him. He sneered slightly. I belong to the Uchiha clan, why do such sneaky things? Uchiha Shisui. The voice just fell. A figure appeared in front of Chianu. Exactly, Uchiha Shisui. He looked very surprised at the moment. There is no flaw in his tracking technique, and chakra hasn't leaked at all, but Uchiha Qianyu completely saw through. Uchiha Qianyu. As expected of Konoha, the recently famous hero, you found out. Shisui, why are you following me? Nothing. Just curious about you. Curious. Qianyu sneered. Just because of curiosity, can you secretly monitor people of the same race? Whose will you uphold? A word from Uchiha Shisui almost made Chianu smile. It's not anyone's will, but the one who swears to protect the entire village. The will of fire. Chianu was speechless for a while. Hopeless. It's completely brainwashed. Well said, but this is not your reason to follow me, I am leaving. Wait, what do you want? Uchiha Qianyu, dare you? Fight me. Chapter 11. Advertise here. At this time, many people around also gathered around. In addition to the ninjas, there are those civilians in Konoha village. Looking at the two strongest members of the Uchiha clan, everyone was shocked for a while. Chianu sneered. Why do you want to fight with you? Konoha village is now suffering from internal and external troubles. You, Uchiha Shisui, don't fight against foreign enemies, but come to challenge me. Where was your Shisui when my Uchiha clan was fighting with Kurigakure outside? When I killed the 7 ninja swords, where was your Shisui when I killed them? You don't go to the battlefield, but you are in the village, making an appointment with people of your clan. What kind of will to fire do you uphold? Uchiha Shisui's face suddenly turned pale. He was speechless, because what Chianu said was the truth. Of course, he didn't go to the battlefield because of the order of third generation. However, in the eyes of all the other ninjas and the entire villagers of Konoha village, he just shrank in the village. But Chianu is the hero and savior of Konoha village today. Are you a hero who stays in the village and does not go to war to defend your home and country, but come to challenge the village? What kind of will of fire is this? For a time, all the ninjas, and many Konoha civilians, all talked and looked at Uchiha Shisui mockingly. Everyone, of course, stood firmly on Chianyu's side. This is prestige. The power of the heart. Uchiha Shisui was ashamed and whispered. Chianyu, you are right, I shouldn't challenge you at this time. But the will of fire in my mind is absolutely firm. No one can be shaken. I, Uchiha Shisui, will do my best to protect the safety of the entire village. After speaking, he could only walk away shamelessly. Everyone behind him is still talking about it. Speaking of the will of fire, but if you don't fight against foreign enemies, isn't that just plain talking? That is, it is a hero like Chianyu who really guards the village. Master Chianyu, so handsome. It is inevitable that there are some female ninjas and girls in the village who were fascinated by Chianyu. Chianyu looked at the back of Shisui who was leaving, and sneered slightly, shaking his head. Of course he is not afraid of Uchiha Shisui. But there is no need to fight, he doesn't want to fight. In addition to exposing their strength and trump cards, making third Hokage and Danzo more fearful of themselves. The outcome of this battle is meaningless. Therefore, he immediately turned around and left. Chianyu, brother. Suddenly, a voice stopped him behind his back. Chianyu didn't need to look back to know. That is Uzumaki Kushina. She blushed and ran to Chianyu. You are back. Yes, I just saw. What? Brother Chianyu is so popular now. Chianyu gave a wry smile. Such a complicated scene, have you only seen this? Thinking of this, he couldn't help but touch Kushina's head again, making her soft red hair a little messy. Don't touch my head. Kushina blushed and bowed her head. I know that Chianyu now is the only hero of Konoha village, and he is also a famous figure in the whole world of ninja. So, there are many female ninjas who want to approach you and want to be with you. Chianyu smiled slightly. What are you doing? No, nothing. Oh, you don't want to be with me. No, I think. As soon as the words were spoken, Kushina suddenly felt something was wrong. Isn't this a direct confession that Chianyu was forced to do? For a moment, her little face flushed. Chianyu looked at her shy expression and charming face, and couldn't help but be moved. He gently hugged her in his arms. Then, a kiss fell on her lips. Well, Kushina was shocked immediately, but soon, she was immersed in it. I don't know how long it took. Brother Chianyu, you. Why, Kushina, don't you like it? No, I like it, but brother Chianyu, how about you? Do you like me? Uchiha Chianyu looked at her eyes and smiled tenderly. Kushina, I like you too. Kushina's whole person suddenly bloomed like a flower, and the sweetness and happiness flowed all over her body in an instant. She immediately fell into Chianyu's arms. The two embraced each other tightly. At the same time, Namikaze Minato, who was performing a task, suddenly felt a heart move. As if something stung me. Minato, what's the matter? Akamaiki Danto, who was on the mission with him, frowned and asked. Inuzuka's jaw on the other side also looked in his direction. Namikaze Minato smiled slightly. No, nothing. Seeing his iconic smile, both ninjas were relieved. But, Namikaze Minato was always a little uneasy. It seemed that something happened that made it hard for him to feel at ease. Chapter 12. Advertise here. Shisui, what's the matter? Didn't I let you monitor Chianu and test his strength at the right time? In Hokage's office, 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, looking at Uchiha Shisui coldly. Shisui's expression was complicated, and he didn't know how to answer for a while. Yes, Lord 3rd Generation. But, he recounted what had happened before. 3rd Hokage was furious. So, did you let him go with just a few words? Shisui hesitated. But, Master 3rd Generation. I think what he said makes sense. After all, he is also fighting for Konoha village. We are going to test him at this time. It's not just human reason. 3rd Generation's face darkened. Oh, are you doubting my way of doing things? I dare not. Sarutobi Hiruzen said coldly. The Uchiha clan is a naturally evil clan. As for what you said, Chianyu's contribution to Konoha. I never doubted Uchiha's strength. That's why it's even more terrifying. Don't you understand what kind of terrifying consequences a naturally evil mind and powerful force will cause? Do you want him to be the next Uchiha Madara? Uchiha Shisui hurriedly said. No, it's not. From the new novel group 712,205,071. 111111. This group updates daily novels. From the new novel group 712205071. Ordinary people are told in front of their faces that their family is inherently evil, and I am afraid they would have turned their faces in anger a long time ago. But Shisui seems to have accepted all this. It can be seen how much he was brainwashed by 3rd Generation. If his Sharingan distinguished heavenly gods as the strongest illusion, then I am afraid. 3rd Generation's brainwashing skills, the so-called Will of Fire, is a more powerful brainwashing tool than distinguished heavenly gods. Master Hokage, I know the evil and horror of the Uchiha clan, but please believe me. I am different from other people. In my heart, there is only Konoha village. Sarutobi Hiruzen smiled with satisfaction. Very good, Shisui, this is the true successor to the Will of Fire. Your ancestor, named Uchiha Kagami, is a complete heir to the Will of Fire, able to surpass his own evil family, and looking at the world from the overall picture, he is the Uchiha clan who truly loves the village. Even Master 2nd Hokage completely trusts him. And you, Uchiha Shisui, is my Uchiha Kagami. Shisui is overjoyed. Thank you for the trust of 3rd Generation. Very good. Continue to monitor Uchiha Qianyu, and of course, the entire Uchiha family. Lord 3rd Generation, don't worry, I will lay down my life to protect the village. Boom. With a sound, Shisui disappeared into Hokage's office. The next moment, Danzo appeared in the room. Hiruzen, all your previous plans have failed. The current Uchiha clan, because of the sudden appearance of Chianu, the imp, not only has not been reduced, but has expanded even more. Even in the entire Konoha village, Uchiha Chianyu's popularity and fame has reached its peak. Is this the result you want to see? Sarutobi Hiruzen has a sullen face. I admit that because of the appearance of this kid, my plan has some deviations, but as long as there are Shisui and Namikaze Minato, plus the power of you and me, even if the Uchiha clan directly rebels, it can be suppressed. Danzo sneered. Oh, are you really going to wait for the trouble to get there? It's better to let me start first. No, the current Konoha village has suffered heavy losses after this battle. If you go to war directly with Uchiha, I am afraid it will immediately collapse and die. That is a last resort, and it cannot be implemented until the end. Humph. Sarutobi Hiruzen glanced at Danzo. You recently seem to be very close to Orochimaru. Danzo's heart moved. Yes, so what? Everything I do is for Konoha village. Sarutobi Hiruzen said. What kind of person Orochimaru is, I know better than you. Danzo, if I find out that you two are really doing things that endanger the village, even if it is you two, I will definitely cut weeds and roots. Danzo felt a shock, then gave a sneer and left the office. That Uchiha Qianyu, I will solve it. ... Leaf Great Whirlwind. Shave. On the other side, a contest between physical skills is being staged. Boom. Boom. A figure is wearing a green tights, it is the old genin of 10,000 years, but actually the super powerful might wear. And the other. He was dressed in black with a fan family emblem, of course it was Uchiha Qianyu. Fast speed. Seeing Chianyu's violent stepping on the air and disappearing from the spot in an instant, Might Dai, an expert in physical skills, couldn't help but sigh in admiration. But, Konoha Bad Rock Rise. Might Dai suddenly changed direction and kicked hard towards Chianyu in the sky. This kick can smash a huge rock. If Chianyu wants to escape, there are countless ways. With the blessing of Sharingan and observation Haki's heart net, Might's movements appear very dull and straightforward. Any moonwalk can easily dodge. But, now it's for physical exercises. So, Tempest Kick. Boom. Chianyu also kicked out ferocious feet. Boom. The moves of the two collided violently. Boom. Might Dai was kicked and fell straight out of the air. What a powerful force. This is no wonder. Chianyu has already practiced the 6 types of marine body art profound truth to 100%, reaching the pinnacle. If might can contend with ordinary physique, then hell. It seems we have to take it seriously. 8 inner gates formation. Open. Boom. Suddenly, Might Daijo broke out with a powerful aura. For a time, the dust was flying, the horrible air flow enveloped the whole body, the clothes and hair were all flying wildly. Chianu saw it, and his heart moved slightly. He smiled and said, "Okay, can you drive directly to the 6th gate? Then I have to be more serious." 8 inner gates formation. Open. He turned on 8 inner gates formation at the same time. Chapter 13. Advertise here. Open the door. Leave the door. Give birth. Break the door. Open. Suddenly, Chianu opened the 8 inner gates formation directly. Unexpectedly, he has cultivated directly to the point of opening the 4th gate to hurt the door. For an instant, Might Dai and Might Guy who was watching the battle were shocked. What? Chianu has only cultivated for a few days, can he open the 4th gate? However, Might Dai, who opened the 6th gate at this moment, was not afraid at all. Good. This is the true face of youth. Blood burning. Toward the peacock, Might Dai yelled, and the violent front fist blasted out like a cannonball. It rubbed and exploded violently with the air, and even burst into countless flames. Like a peacock on the screen. Crazy attacking Chianu. This trick. Very good. Chianu smiled slightly. He who opened the 4th gate suddenly showed the profound meaning of Marine 6 styles. 6 forms are the strongest profound meaning. 6 King's Spear. Both fists slammed out likewise. Combines the strongest blow of all 6 styles. Boom. The air seems to have turned into a huge cannonball. Air bomb. The offensive of the two collided fiercely, and the entire sky burst with a bang. Above the earth, the whole world was turned upside down, rubble flying, and the earth cracking. For a time, the gully was filled with no bottom. Call. Might Dai fell to the ground, panting heavily. I opened the 6th gate and displayed the peacock, but still unable to suppress you. Chianu, your physical skills are so terrifying. Furthermore, after only a few days of practicing the 8 inner gates formation, has it been possible to open the 4th gate? It's worthy of being the first genius of the Uchiha clan. Chianu smiled slightly, noncommittal. Actually, he has been able to open the 5th gate, Duman. Even if it is forced, the 6th gate can also be opened. It's just that there's no need to talk to Might Dado. Otherwise, shouldn't he be scared to death? Chianu was able to practice so quickly, on the one hand, because he has Sharingan, he was born to observe, imitate, and copy any moves of others. On the other hand, it is because he was originally a master of physical skills. Grandmaster Marine 6 styles has reached the top. Of course, it is unparalleled fast to practice. You guys are playing hard here. Suddenly, several voices sounded. Chianu was naturally aware of it, looked back, and smiled. It's you. The people here are Akamaiki Dinza, Yamanaka Uichi, and Nara Shikahisa. Ino Shika Cho. It's finally here. Well, Chianu, I haven't thanked you for the last life-saving grace. Yeah, if the war is not still going on, I must take you to a big drink. Ding Zuo, are you sure you didn't have a big meal? Ha ha ha, everyone laughed. You are here to thank me specifically. No. Nara Luju shook his head and sighed. No, the war is not over yet, we are going to the battlefield again. This time I just passed by accidentally. Yes. Nara Lu looked at Chianu for a long time. Even though I was not there last time, Ino Shikacho was originally one. You saved Ding Zuo and Hai Yi, and you are my savior. Chianu, this kindness will never be forgotten by Lu Ju. Chianu smiled slightly. It's all Konoha shinobi, isn't it a matter of course? Lu Ju's heart moved and sighed silently. This man. Turned out, he has already made great achievements. Moreover, the people in the village have reached the peak. After the end of the 3 wars, I am afraid that Lord 3rd Hokage will abdicate. At that time, this man must also be a powerful competitor. Unfortunately, he is from the Uchiha clan. Nara Luku has no ill feelings for the Uchiha clan. But, with his brain and wisdom, of course he understands the situation in the village. 3rd generation. Never let Chianu, such a Uchiha, become Hokage. But, deep down, Lu Ju was very supportive of Chianu. Not only him, the 3 major families of Ino Shikacho, the Aburame family, not to mention the Uchiha family, and other neutral Konoha shinobi, including most Konoha civilians, I am afraid they support Chianu. The only competitor is Namikaze Minato, which has also risen recently. And also, Orochimaru. But, Orochimaru's qualifications, prestige, and credit are definitely enough. However, it is unpopular in itself. Recently, I don't know what is being done secretly. Even 3rd Hokage himself, as his master, has completely distrusted him. Therefore, the fight for 4th Hokage, surrounding these 3 people, is probably a big melee of the 3 factions. Orochimaru, Danzo and Roots, Namikaze Minato, Sarutobi Hiruzen, support the ninja and Anbu of the 3rd generation. Uchiha Qianyu, the Uchiha family, the garrison, and other families who have a good impression of Chianu. But what will be the result? Lu Ju gave a wry smile. I'm afraid it's the 3rd generation alone that has the final say. Thinking of this, he couldn't help but embarrass Chianu. However, He is not a saint, and there is no way to change the generational contradiction between the Uchiha clan and the village. Chianu, if the time comes. Lu Ju patted him on the shoulder, without saying anything clearly. Just smiled and said, we Ino Shika Cho will support you. Might Dai and Might Guy looked dumbfounded. Chianu understands it with heart. I hope so. Lu Ju smiled and embarked on the battlefield together with Ding Zuo and Hai Yi. Chapter 14. Advertise here. Fighting against the country of fire are the other three great powers. Which is, the country of water, land of earth, thunder country, and Kurigakure, the country of water before, was basically defeated by Chianu alone. Only a small group of forces are still about to move. In thunder country, Namikaze Minato and a large number of Konoha shinobi are dealing with it. The rest of the ninjas are fighting against the country of soil, Iwagakure. Soon, news came. Namikaze Minato and Abi meet together, and after a fierce battle, there is no difference between the winner and the loser. But he played against the two masters alone, and even faintly gained the upper hand. After this, the third Raikage of Thunder Country, in order to cover his teammates, faced tens of thousands of Iwagakure ninjas alone. After fighting for 3 days and 3 nights, he finally died of exhaustion. The Kingdom of Thunder lost its leader and had to withdraw its troops. The enemies of Konoha village are only the land of the land and the land of water. However, Konoha village suffered heavy losses and the talents were withered. As a last resort, Namikaze Minato was immediately transferred to another battlefield, which was the battle with the land of the earth. Other ninjas in Konoha village have also been transferred to the front line. Uchiha Qianyu is also here. He leads his Uchiha team. At this time, Chianu had been promoted by Fugaku and became the deputy captain of the Konoha Guard force. In the entire Uchiha clan, it can be said to be under one person and over 10,000 people. Highly respected, and he also formed his own ninja team. This time he led his disciples. Chunin, 3 young elites of the Uchiha clan. The names are Uchiha Aoki, Uchiha Red Fire, and Uchiha Ryukin. Aoki is good at illusion. Red Fire Grandmaster Fire style. The Golden Sharingan is the most exquisite developed, the power of insight and perception, no one in the same generation can match. All 3 are good seedlings of the Uchiha clan. Fugaku asked them to follow him. Of course Chianu knew what it meant. He didn't hide his privates either. The weapons of the 7 ninja swords that he had seized were given to the 3 of them to use. Kai Huo uses explosive knife droplets to match his fire style and hot temper. Aoki uses a long knife to sew needles, sharp and delicate, and it is difficult to resist Sharingan's illusion. Lu Jin uses double knives and thunder knives. With his unparalleled insight of Sharingan, he can bring this known as the fastest thunder knife to the fullest. Chianu glanced at his attribute panel. There are only 7 days before the next refresh. And refresh the sign in location also appeared. It turned out to be Hokage's office. He frowned slightly, then smiled again. It seems that after the war is over, we are going to negotiate with the old thing from 3rd generation. I was scolding the old thing just now, and suddenly, Chianu immediately sensed the presence of the enemy. Moreover, it is a very powerful enemy. This chakra is. Ms. Chianu, what's the matter? Uchiha Chuo asked hurriedly. At this moment, Lu Jin, who is best at insight, also seems to feel something. Teacher, is it the enemy? Well, moreover, it's an unprecedented terrible enemy. Don't act rashly and hide behind me. Is teacher. Soon, before a figure appeared, Chianu already felt a strong crisis. Sneak attack. Unfortunately, for me, it is of no use. Next moment. Dust escape. The original world peeling technique. A violent white light flashed. A pure white and transparent cube suddenly appeared in the void. Then, a whole forest, together with the earth, towering trees, and all earth and rock plants, have all turned into nothingness. Gone. Master 3rd Tsuchikage, that's amazing. Is that the newly emerged hero of Konoha, Uchiha Qianyu? No matter who he is, he will definitely die now. The purpose of the 3rd generation is invincible. But at the moment, 3rd Tsuchikage rising in midair, 2 Libra Onogi, frowned. Have you escaped? What a kid. Next moment, Chianu suddenly appeared in midair as well. Shave. Moonwalk. Onoki was taken aback. You can fly. Chianu sneered and stretched out his hand. 30 million volts. Thunderbird. Roar. With a scream, the terrifying thunder ignited, turning into a giant bird that flew fast and flew violently toward Oyemu. Even the air hissed by the electric shock. Master 3rd generation. All of a sudden, the many ninjas in the land of the earth changed their colors in astonishment. But Oyemu is also a man who has experienced many battles, although he is not disturbed. Dust escape, the original world stripping technique. From the palm of his hand, a cone-shaped dust escape enchantment suddenly burst out again, bursting out. Boom. The dusty enchantment and the Thunderbird collided suddenly, and the Thunderbird disappeared in an instant. However, Oyemu was also shocked early in a cold sweat. I wanted to stealthily attack and kill this thriving Konoha imp, but I didn't expect that he almost stole the chicken and lost his rice. Instead, he was secretly attacked by a wave. Oyemu Fei fell to the ground. Chianu also followed him to the ground. What a Uchiha Qianyu. It turned out to be even more powerful than the rumors. Chianu also looked at the legendary third Tsuchikage. Oh Nogi. A lot younger than I remember. Of course. The big Yemu in Chianyu's impression is always the image of an old grandfather. But that was the Fourth Ninja World War, and now it was 3 battles, and the opponent was not that old yet. Presumptuous. How dare you call Master Tsuchikage's name? Arrogant kid. Onoki smiled slightly. Funny kid. The geniuses of Konoha are really endless. However, since you met me, just let me get rid of this genius seedling. Chianyu was a little excited when he heard it. Very well, Onoki, I will play with you today. The fierce battle between the two is about to start. P.S. Really, ask for a wave of flower tickets. The current data is so miserable, it's so shameless to see people. I have no motivation to continue writing, give me some motivation, readers. Please. Chapter 15. Advertise here. Onogi sneered and said, although he is a kid, the old man will not despise you. So much the better. Chianyu's voice just fell. Earth style. Rock fist technique. Boom. The third generation's target figure has flew up, and suddenly came to Chianyu's body. The entire right arm has become as hard as earth and rock. Throw a terrifying punch at yourself. Good job. Chianyu sneered, and suddenly his entire right arm was wrapped around Armament Haki. A bang. Marine 6 styles. The strongest secret. 6 king spears. Boom. The first move of the two is intertwined. In an instant, Daiyemyu's rock fist technique was broken instantly. All the rocks, earth and wood were instantly shattered, forming a gas explosion, frantically splashing and exploding, and his body was directly hit and flew back violently. What a powerful physique. Onoki was taken aback, and hurriedly adjusted his posture in midair. But at the moment, Chianyu has actually come above him. Tempest kick. Bai Lei. Boom. With a sound, the tempest kick with the power of the terrifying thunder turned into a white thunder and lightning blade-like kicking technique, and it blasted down fiercely. Earth style. Rock arm. Rumble. In an instant, Onoki activated Earth style, and the surrounding rocks and dirt froze in an instant, forming a giant palm-like defense around him. However, with just one blow, it was blasted by Chianyu's tempest kick and turned into nothingness. However, Onogi escaped the blow after all. What a great kid. Just as Oyemu landed, Chianyu was already in the air, violently performing ninjutsu. Fire style. Long Yan singing technique. In an instant, a series of terrifying flames turned into martial arts fire dragons, from the top, bottom, left, and middle 5 directions, blocking all the possible escape positions of Onoki, and it is inevitable. Earth style. Earth flow wall. Onoki smiled slightly and slammed his hands together. Boom. A wide and heavy earth flow wall appeared in an instant, completely resisting Long Yan's singing technique. That kid. Where is it sacred? Can you fight so fiercely with Tsuchikage-sama? No, even, he's suppressing Master Tsuchikage's beating. What a terrifying young man. Konoha really deserves to be the top of the 5 countries. Onoki lightly jumped on the wall of Tulyubi and couldn't help but smile. Uchiha Qianyu. What a powerful young man. The old man has never seen such a terrifying combat power at your age. You are the first, Qianyu said. In this cruel ninja world, age is meaningless. Only strength is real. Onoki smiled. Really? Little devil, at a young age, I have a thorough understanding of this world of ninja. The old man likes you a little bit, but it's a pity that you are Konoha's ninja, so. Die here. Dust escape. Original world stripping technique. This time, he suddenly shot, and Shendun broke out in an instant. And the scale is more than 10 times larger than the previous 2 times. It is to turn a whole huge area into nothingness. Unfortunately, his sudden move like this, for Grandmaster observation Haki and Sharingan's Chianu. It makes no sense at all. Just before the shot. Chianyu has already flew over the big Yemu. No matter how large his scope is, it is impossible to include himself in it after all. 8 inner gates formation. Lilianwa. Boom. The third gate was opened instantly, Chianyu's violent physique burst out. A violent punch and a fierce bombardment. Oyemu could still react at this time. Earth style. Rock soil house technique. Rumble. Tulyubi instantly turned into a semicircular stone house, wrapping him in it for defense. However, it was devastated in an instant, and was bombarded by Chianyu. But once the earth flow wall collapsed, third Tsuchikage also fell down immediately, avoiding this sudden blow. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Sure enough, an experienced combat ninja. Chianyu couldn't help but admire secretly. Little devil, running so fast, is it hard to hit even Shendun? But unfortunately, your subordinates don't have this ability. Obviously, he had already sensed the other 3 ninjas in Chianyu's team. Dust escape, the separation of the original world. Master Tsuchikage, I advise you not to do this. Next moment, Chianyu has appeared in the ninja army of the land of the earth. But his hands are firmly holding a person's life master. It is the son of Onoki, Lois. Chianyu, Oyemu didn't expect that the opponent's body skills should be so fast. Not only was it difficult for his own dust to attack, he even wanted to threaten the opponent's companions, but he took the lead. How about, Master Tsuchikage. Are you going to use your son's life for my 3 companions? The cold sweat on Onoki's forehead rolled down instantly. After becoming 3rd Tsuchikage, he has not encountered such a situation. And all this was caused by a young kid. For a while, he was frightened, but hesitated. At this moment, report, Master Tsuchikage, Shenwubi Bridge was broken. Onoki's heart moved. What? Shenwubi Bridge? Chianu couldn't help but his face changed slightly. That is the place where Iwagakure's supply line must pass. Once it is breached, Iwagakure will be unable to continue. Onoki made a decision immediately in his heart. Retreat. He stopped the Chen escape technique in his hand and looked at Chianu. Chianu also smiled slightly and let go of the Lois. Little devil, you used the power of one person to push the old man back. After this battle, I am afraid that your name will resound all over the world. But, one day, the old man will personally send you on the road. Chianu smiled. To each other. Oyemu laughed loudly and led the crowd to leave. Chianu knew that of course he was not afraid of Onogi, but the companions that he led, the 3 young Chunin, would surely die once they went to war. Therefore, he did not catch up. The 3 of them stepped forward and looked at Chianu in admiration. Teacher, you are amazing. Can suppress that 3rd Tsuchikage. He is the legend of the ninja world. The teacher is invincible. Okay, don't suck up. Chianu looked at the back of the retreat of the Earth Kingdom, knowing in his heart. This 3rd ninja battle is about to come to an end. After that, it was the more terrifying battle inside Konoha village. Chapter 16. Advertise here. Back in Konoha village, once the matter spread, suddenly Chianyu's name was spread all over the world again. With my own strength, I defeated Onoki and forced the entire Iwagakure ninja army to retreat. Although it was said that Oyemu was in a dilemma. Hearing that the Shinwubi bridge had fallen, he chose to retreat, but if it wasn't for the complete lack of confidence in taking Chianu, he wouldn't be able to withdraw obediently. For a time, the whole ninja world was shocked. In Konoha village, Chianyu's prestige is even more apex. Equivalent to, he alone defeated the offensive of the 2 great powers, the land of water and the land of earth. Who can have such prestige? Chianu returned to the village and waited quietly. Soon, Namikaze Minato also returned. However, there is no imaginary scene of the return of the hero. The Battle of the Shinsubi Bridge. Although in the end, their team destroyed the entire Shinsubi Bridge, but Uchiha Obito died in battle. Hitaki Kakashi got one of his Sharingan, but has since fallen into complete confusion. Subsequently, it also experienced the strategy of the remnant forces of Kurigakure to seal 3 tails in Nohara Lin's body, with the intention of letting 3 tails run away in Konoha village and severely injure Konoha village. As a last resort, Nohara Lin voluntarily died in the hands of Hitaki Kakashi. Kakashi was even more desperate from then on. And this scene completely made the Obito that people thought to be dead, heading towards the ultimate blacken. After Namikaze Minato returned, own team, Obito died in battle, Rin Nohara died in battle, Kakashi became a walking dead. It is impossible for him to have any happy thoughts. More importantly, he also heard a news. Uzumaki Kushina has officially chosen to be with Uchiha Qianyu. Namikaze Minato was completely discouraged. But no matter what, after years of war, the 3rd battle of ninjas in Konoha village, especially Uchiha Qianyu and Namikaze Minato, finally came to an end. Later, Konoha village has signed armistice agreements with other countries. However, because Konoha village suffered heavy losses as well, and there was a concession clause in the armistice agreement, the high-level officials and people of the entire Fire Nation were quite critical of 3rd Hokage. Then, people understand that it is only a matter of time before 3rd Hokage abdicates. The only problem is, candidates for the next generation of Hokage. I'm back, Kushina. Back at her home, Kushina was overjoyed when she heard her voice. Brother Chianu, you are finally back. Kushina plunged into his arms immediately, and the shy whole person was buried in it. Chianu knew she was worried about herself and stroked her hair lightly. Okay, haven't I returned safely? Moreover, the war is over. At least for a short time, there should be no danger. Kushina smiled softly. I'm ready to eat, come and eat. Try my craft, how about it? Chianu took a bite and gave a thumbs up, it's delicious. Just kidding, no matter whether it is delicious or not, don't you have to say it is delicious. Really, Kushina took a bite herself, but frowned. It's so salty. Okay, brother Chianu, you lied to me. Chianu smiled. Where is it? It's so salty, you still say it's delicious. I have a strong taste. Otherwise what? Uzumaki Kushina blinked his big eyes and looked at him curiously. Chianu smirked. How else would you like you? Uzumaki Kushina suddenly groaned. Okay, brother Chianu, you mean I'm not all right? From the new novel group 712,205,071. 111111. This group updates daily novels. From the new novel group 712205071. I am teasing you. Chianu gently hugged her in his arms. Kushina, tonight, don't go home. But. Okay. Quote. Okay, brother Chianu. Uzumaki Kashina's voice sounded like a mosquito, but he was still shy but nodded firmly. Then, in the evening, the two officially confirmed their relationship. Uzumaki Kashina was originally an orphan, and usually lives alone. Now that the relationship with Chianu was confirmed, the two lived together logically. They became a pair of golden boys and girls, a model couple whom everyone admired in Konoha village. This day, suddenly a ninja came to Chianyu's house. Uchiha Qianyu, Lord 3rd Hokage, please. Is it finally here? Chianyu smiled slightly. Okay, I'll go right away. Brother Chianyu, Uzumaki Kashina also knows the subtle relationship between the Uchiha clan and Konoha village. Although everyone admires Chianyu very much, but he is still on guard against the Uchiha clan. This is the voice of most people in Konoha village. It's okay, don't worry. Chianyu followed the ninja to Hokage's office. He opened the door and walked in. It turns out that in addition to 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, there are many people in the office. Namikaze Minato, Orochimaru, Shimura Danzo, Uchiha Shisui, Uchiha Fugaku, Ino Shika Cho, Aburame Jiwei. Of course, there are other important Konoha clan patriarchs, elite Jonin. Even the two major consultants. Mitokado Homura, Utatane Kaharu. Good guy, almost all the big shots in Konoha village are all here. As soon as Chianyu entered the door, everyone's eyes fell on him. This young man who was born out of nowhere, yet radiant. Uchiha Chianyu smiled slightly, but ignored everyone's gaze. Because at the moment, ding dong, congratulations to host for signing into the Hokage office. Complete the sign-in at the designated place refreshed by the system, and you will get rich rewards. Chianyu was overjoyed. I don't know how many huge sign-in rewards will be given this time. Chapter 17. Advertise here. Ding dong, congratulations to host for signing into the Hokage office. Complete the sign-in at the designated place refreshed by the system, and get rich rewards as follows. Congratulations to host for getting Sage Body Template by 1st Hokage Senju Hashirama. Currently unlocked. 10%. Congratulations to host for getting B-level Ninjutsu, Wind Style Tornado Fist. B-level Ninjutsu, Wind Style Grease Palm. B-class Ninjutsu, Wind Style Airborne Cannon. A-level Ninjutsu, Wind Style Wind Blade. Congratulations to host Thunder Fruit's ability development progress increased by 10%, and the current progress is 80%. Gain new Thunder Fruit abilities. 200 million volts Thor. Congratulations to the 8 Inner Gates formation development progress increased by 10%, the current progress is 70%, you can open the 7th gate. Obtain the 8 Inner Gates formation coordination technique. To the Peacock. Day Tiger. Congratulations to the 9% increase in the development progress of host Sharingan, and the current progress is 80%. Uchiha Qianyu couldn't help but change his face. Forget the rest. Senju Hashirama's Sage Body. This is a big killer known as an absolute plugin. If once fully unlocked, let alone anything else, this physique and this chakra will be enough to sweep the entire ninja realm. Even now, it is only 10%, which is absolutely 10 times and 100 times better than ordinary ninjas. From then on, if I use any ninjutsu, I am not afraid of running out of chakra. More importantly, I am the Uchiha clan. Sharingan with fairy eyes. Just wait until Mangekyo Sharingan is turned on, then fully integrate the Sage Body, and add the 2. You can get the power of Sage of 6 paths. Turn on Rinnegan. Certainly, these are all things to do. However, at least at this moment, I already have power that surpasses all ninjas. Do you incorporate 10% of the Sage Body template? Being not, Chianyu didn't want to expose his secrets in front of everyone. He endured, looking at everyone, and 3rd Hokage in the middle. Master Hokage. Chianyu yelled indifferently. 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen stared at him. Well, Chianyu, you are here. Yes, on the battlefield this time, you performed very well. You killed the 7 ninjamen, killed the leader Mist Shinobi, and even pushed back the difficult Gaionoki. It can be said that in this whole war, you and Minato have contributed the most. Chianyu was noncommittal, but he sneered in his heart. My own contribution is undoubtedly far beyond Namikaze Minato. However, since he said that, he didn't care about competing with him. Justice is naturally in the hearts of the people. 3rd Hokage coughed. This time, I'm here to discuss matters concerning the successor to 4th Hokage. Everyone's face changed slightly. Although everyone knows that this is inevitable, they did not expect it to come so fast. Lord 3rd Generation, you. Sarutobi Hiruzen waved his hand. This time Konoha barely won the 3rd Ninja World War, but suffered heavy losses. As Hokage, I have an unshirkable responsibility. So, I will abdicate recently and give up the position of Hokage to young people. But, how to decide this candidate, for a while, I am not sure. You are the backbone of Konoha village. I don't know what opinions are recommended candidates. You can speak freely. Uchiha Qianyu sneered slightly. Obviously it is an internal decision, but it is really a high-sounding nonsense to say anything freely. Shimura Danzo immediately said, I recommend Orochimaru. A dark smile appeared on Orochimaru's face. But several people nodded. After all, Orochimaru's qualifications can be said to be the highest among all candidates. Konoha's White Fang was able to compete with Sannin, but chose to commit suicide. And the other two people in Sannin. Tsunade was suffering from panicemia and traveled all over the world, no longer paying attention to Konoha's affairs. As for Jiraiya, he is also missing, and his character is really not suitable for being a leader. Therefore, in the same generation, Orochimaru is the well-deserved first candidate. Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded. Okay, Orochimaru is listed as one of the candidates. Inuzuka Jaws, Akamaiki Dodo looked at each other. We recommend Namikaze Minato. The two of them and Namikaze Minato often fought side by side against the Abi combination, which was accomplished by the three-person team. Sarutobi Hiruzen smiled slightly. Very good. Minato is also listed as one of the candidates. At this time, Uchiha Fugaku said, I recommend Uchiha Qianyu. For a while, everyone whispered and discussed. Sarutobi Hiruzen took a puff of his pipe, spit out a smoke ring, and looked at Uchiha Fugaku. Fugaku, as the patriarch of the Uchiha clan, don't you stand for election? In terms of prestige, you are also one of the well-deserved candidates. Uchiha Fugaku smiled slightly. I have self-knowledge. With my ability, I am well-deserved to lead the Uchiha clan. As for Hokage, I haven't thought about it. But, Chianu definitely has enough qualifications and abilities. I absolutely believe that he will become a good Hokage. The three Ino Shikacho glanced at each other and nodded. Our three major families, Ino Shikacho, also agreed to elect Chianu as a candidate for the fourth generation. The non-talkative Aburame Jue also opened his mouth and said, the Aburame clan also agrees. Subsequently, many other neutral families also expressed their support for Chianu. For a moment, third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen's face changed suddenly. It turns out, there are so many families supporting Uchiha Qianyu. Is this okay? He immediately gave birth to a decisive heart. However, on his face, there was a scheming and deliberate calculation, and instead, he smiled slightly. Very well, it seems Chianu is very popular. Uchiha Qianyu, also listed as one of the candidates for fourth Hokage. Chapter 18. Advertise here. Everyone was relieved to hear that Chianu was listed as one of the candidates for the fourth generation category. This name can be said to be a symbol of stability in Konoha. But, the old cunning third generation took a puff of cigarette, but said in a deep voice. Fugaku, actually, the old man himself wants to recommend someone. It's also from the Uchiha clan. Uchiha Shisui. Everyone was slightly taken aback when they heard the words. Uchiha Shisui. That man is indeed a genius among geniuses. Absolutely strong. Shisui's name has long been heard throughout the world. In terms of strength, he does have the qualifications to compete for the position of Hokage. However, in this third Ninja World War, the Uchiha clan played in the battle, it is clear that Chianu has always been. It was Chianu who made great military exploits and saved the entire Konoha shinobi village. Shisui. Although there is strength, but no credit, naturally there is no popularity and prestige. And these are even more important than strength. As a result, everyone showed a slightly puzzled look. Uchiha Fugaku also frowned slightly. But this is the cunning purpose of third generation. I recommend you members of the Uchiha clan to be Hokage, can you still refuse? Not only can I refuse, but I appear magnanimous and do not discriminate against you Uchiha clan. Uchiha Fugaku nodded. Shisui is indeed the absolute powerhouse of the Uchiha clan. The recommendation of the third generation master is an honor for the Uchiha clan. But, a family, there are two Hokage candidates. I'm afraid, it will cause controversy between the village and the ninja, right? Third generation nodded, pretending to be hesitant on purpose. That's right, the old man has an idea. What's the idea? Please say, Lord third generation. Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes showed a hint of coldness. Well, let Shisui and Chianu play a match, and the winner can get Hokage's candidacy. In this way, both of them are convinced, and the Uchiha family does not have to be discussed by other families just because there are two candidates. Fugaku's face changed. Why, isn't the old man's proposal bad? No. Fugaku looked at Chianu. I was swearing in my heart. What an old fox Sarutobi Hiruzen. With one suggestion, Chianu, who has achieved great martial arts and prestige, is equal to Shisui, who has no credit at all, and only competes for the only qualification with strength. If Shisui wins by then, wouldn't all the credit Chianu made before it be in vain? Chianu smiled slightly. Master third generation is right, I am willing to accept Shisui's challenge. Third generation's face changed slightly, but then he smiled and said, very good. Then, after 3 days, let's fight in public. Good. Leaving Hokage's office, Fugaku and Chianu whispered. Chianu, do you really want to accept this engagement? This is simply deceiving people too much. Chianu smiled. All plans are of no use in the face of absolute power. Sarutobi Hiruzen is of course cunning, but his planning function is based on an impossible reality. That is Shisui can defeat me. It's a pity, that's just a foolish dream. Fugaku breathed a sigh of relief. Chianu, are you absolutely sure? Shisui's strength cannot be underestimated. Don't worry, I can still handle a Shisui. Okay, I believe you. After separating from Fugaku. Sage body, fusion. Chianu took a deep breath and decided to start fusing first Hokage's sage body. Although only 10%, it is enough to shock the world. Rumble. Suddenly, a powerful and terrifying aura spread out instantly. Crazy infused into his body. In just an instant, that huge chakra filled his entire body. Chianu couldn't help but exclaimed, "This is 10%. No wonder first generation is called the god of ninjas. This terrifying amount of chakra alone is not something humans can have." His own chakra volume is not very large. Therefore, the release of ninjutsu is still based on precision and cruelty, and does not win by quantity. But, from now on, everything turned upside down. He, Uchiha Qianyu, no longer has to fear that chakra is insufficient. 3 days later, on Konoha Square, crowds were crowded and crowded. Here, the battle between the two candidates of 4th Hokage is about to break out. Two of the strongest of the Uchiha clan. Instantly Shisui. Uchiha Qianyu. Naturally it attracted almost all civilians and ninjas to come and watch. And Uchiha Fugaku, as the captain of the police force, dispatched elite ninjas from the Uchiha clan to patrol the surrounding areas to prevent emergencies. Soon, Master 3rd Hokage is here. Everyone looked over and saw the 3rd generation Sarutobi Hiruzen, accompanied by some elite ninjas, came out. Suddenly, the civilians and ninjas in the village cheered. Then, other Konoha leaders, many Jonin, and elite ninjas from various families also appeared. In a hidden corner, Shimura Danzo was watching secretly with a man. Exactly, Orochimaru, the last candidate, Namikaze Minato, accompanied by friends, came to watch the game. And under his watch, Uchiha Qianyu and Uzumaki Kushina walked out together. Seeing the sweet and affectionate look of the two. Suddenly, Namikaze Minato's heart hurts slightly. Chianu, come on, you must win. Don't worry, Kushina. He touched Kushina's head, making Kushina's face flushed suddenly. At this moment, Uchiha Shisui has finally arrived. He took the lead on the field and shouted to Chianu, Chianu, come on. One battle will be the winner. Chianu glanced at him and smiled disdainfully. Okay. Chapter 19. Advertise here. Looking at the data without moving every day, I really don't feel in the mood to continue writing. There are no flowers, just 100 votes. There was no movement in the comment area. If no one is reading it, I still cut and open a new book. If anyone else is watching, please vote for flowers, evaluation votes, monthly tickets, etc. Reward is not extravagant. If you don't have these, just squeeze in the comment area to let the author know that someone else is watching. Please. Otherwise, I really can't support it. Chapter 20. Advertise here. Hiss. A soft sound, a flash of lightning. In the next moment, Chianu has come to the opposite side of Shisui. So fast body flicker technique. Everyone exclaimed. However, Chianu is not using ninja's body flicker technique. In other words, it's not just body flicker technique. He combines the shaving of Marine 6 styles body technique, moonwalk, and body flicker technique. Together with the power of thunder fruit. Become a lightning. Thousands of miles in a flash. At this moment, just the display of this body flicker technique shocked all ninjas, even the most powerful ones. His body flicker technique is even scarier than Shisui. Beyond Shisui's body flicker technique. This man is terrible. The scary thing is not that the opponent is stronger than himself. The scary thing is, the opponent is stronger than one of his most powerful aspects. In an instant, Uchiha Shisui's face suddenly changed, and a trace of fear appeared in his heart. Even 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen himself, his face instantly became gloomy. It seems that this kid still keeps many secrets. He took a pipe and his face was very ugly. Uchiha Shisui glanced at him, and Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded at him. For an instant, it seemed to have been blessed by the will of fire. The light in Shisui's eyes regained confidence. Chianu sneered. What a poor man who was completely brainwashed. Body flicker technique. Shisui instantly activated his own secret technique, which is still the most praised body flicker technique. In an instant, afterimages flashed. It seems that there are dozens of clones. It is not clear at all which is true and which is false. This is Shisui's unique body flicker technique. The enemy is often dazzled, and has been killed by Shisui. However, for Chianu, who has the strongest insight and predictive ability, there is no threat at all. Jian Yuyan. Suddenly, Shisui launched his own attack. The sword in his hand cut and slashed violently. Even, with the changes of the two attributes of wind style and fire style. It is his unique ninjutsu. Fast as lightning. Chianu smiled. Good come. In his eyes, he had already seen the arrival of this scene. Therefore, those fake avatars that lure the enemy have no meaning at all. Boom. Chianu slammed out Tempest Kick fiercely. Bai Lei. The white lightning flashes, combined with Tempest Kick's kicking skills and slashing, slammed into the opponent's offensive. Boom. The two of them slammed into each other violently, and the air was full of traces of slashing void, and the earth cracked. The air sneered even more. Boom. The two stopped abruptly, and then came the roar of terrifying air. What? It actually defended Shisui's body flicker technique with a killer blow. What a strong physique. Shisui was also taken aback, but immediately changed his skills. The Sword of Wind. Cutting down with a sharp knife, wind style turned into the sharpest edge, cutting the earth and air away. Chianu smiled slightly. Wind style. Wind blade. With a rapid seal in his hand, the terrifying wind style chakra also pierced the air and collided with the opponent's swordsmanship violently. Boom. The two retreated tens of meters away at the same time. The land in the middle has turned into a ravine, spreading for hundreds of meters. Fire style. How long fire technique? Shisui pulled away and immediately cast the fire style that the Uchiha clan is best at. 3 blazing fire dragons roared out in an instant, spreading teeth and dancing claws and raged towards Chianu fiercely. Chianu sneered. Come here. How long fire technique? He also broke out his own fire style technique. However, the scale of his fire style is more than twice that of Shisui. Originally, he was more accustomed to using the power of Thunder Fruit. Because of his own chakra flaws, there was always a limit to ninjutsu. However, he has integrated the first generation sage body, and chakra is huge at the moment. For a moment, the fire dragon raged away instantly, completely suppressing Shisui's ninjutsu. Even one of the flames burned straight toward Shisui. Body flicker technique. At that moment, Shisui once again activated the body flicker technique to evade and flew directly into the sky. However, too slow. What? Shisui changed color instantly. Chianu was already waiting for his arrival above the sky, as if he had already expected him to dodge here. 6 styles. 6 King's Spear. Boom. It seemed like a cannonball roared, even with the lightning of Thunder Fruit. Chianyu's blow, like a god's sanction, descended proudly into the world from the sky. Falling down. Rumble. Shisui was slammed into the earth, and the whole earth was shot out of a huge pit, dust was splashing, and the world was dancing in chaos. For a while, everyone was shocked. Chianyu's ability to suppress Shisui may not surprise everyone so much. After all, both of them are geniuses and absolute masters. However, where Chianu suppressed Shisui, it turned out to be the speed of body flicker technique. This surprised everyone to the extreme. Even third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen's face changed. Chianu calmly fell to the ground and smiled slightly. Shisui of the instantaneous. Is it only this level? Chapter 21. Advertise here. Chianyu's speed shocked everyone. In an instant, the ninjas who watched the battle were amazed. Many of them are looking in another direction. That is, the direction of Namikaze Minato. Yellow flash. I'm afraid, only Namikaze Minato's speed is comparable to Chianu, right? Namikaze Minato couldn't help but frown. Shisui slowly stood up from the pit, a trace of blood spilled from the corner of his mouth. He looked at Chianu, his eyes filled with disbelief. I underestimated you, Chianu. Next, it's a fight that really goes all out. Uchiha Shisui's eyes suddenly turned red. Sharingan. He finally turned on Sharingan. And the next moment, a series of terrifying green rays suddenly burst out from his body. In an instant, it condensed into a terrifying colossus like a god. That is, Susanoo, Uchiha Fugaku, and Uchiha Itachi, who was still young next to him, were shocked. Chianyu's heart also moved slightly. Why, are you finally going to perform a trick? Rumble. The breath of horror and majesty instantly permeated the entire venue. For a moment, not to mention the civilians watching the battle, even all the ninjas, including those elite ninjas, can't help but feel a terrifying sense of oppression. That, after all, it's Susanoo. Click. Green rays of light condensed into armor and covered Susanoo. Make the entire huge body more powerful and domineering. And then, a huge spiral sword appeared in Susanoo's right hand. Boom. An air wave came, and the surrounding dust broke out again, frantically surging away. Come on Chianu. Fight with me. Uchiha Shisui's mouth is bleeding, and his eyes are also red as blood, screaming crazy at Chianu. Chianu smiled lightly. Is this Susanoo? Okay, then I will let you see my power too. 200 million volts. Thor. Rumble. In an instant. Opposite the huge green Susanoo, an equally huge and incomparable figure of horror appeared. Around, crazy lightning raged, roaring. A huge thunder and lightning body that can stand tall in the heavens and the earth has arrived at this moment. The ultimate meaning of Thunder Fruit. 200 million volts. Thor. In an instant, Chianu had already turned into a real Thor who was a horror comparable to Susanoo's size. Then, what is that? As the lightning style technique. But, how can there be such a terrifying power? Ninjutsu I've never seen before, so terrible feeling of oppression. The power of God. For a time, all the ninjas were trembling and shocked. Shisui was also taken aback. It was clear that Chianu hadn't started Mangekyo Sharingan at all. What kind of ninjutsu is this? But the next moment, he has already broken out his own offensive. Susanoo. A spiral sword. Boom. Above Susanoo's huge body, the green terrifying spiral sword between his right arm suddenly stabbed out fiercely. Rumble. The earth is shaking. The air is roaring. This blow is enough to penetrate a small hill directly. Chianu sneered, I can't help myself. God's sanction. Boom. The huge Thor suddenly stretched out his arm, and a terrifying lightning burst instantly. There was a violent collision with the spiral sword. In an instant, the world was turned upside down. The land is cracked. Rumble. The air waves are surging, and within a radius of several thousand meters, you can feel the aftermath of horror outrageously. What? The ninjas who watched the battle from a distance, those who were not strong enough, were directly blown out by the air waves. Click, click. Chianyu's lightning disappeared instantly, however, Susanoo's spiral sword also cracked in the crack. May break at any time. Impossible. Shisui roared, and the once again rising chakra suddenly exploded, and the broken spiral sword was repaired in an instant. But his eyes were already bleeding. Susanoo. 99. Click. The armor on Susanoo's chest suddenly opened, and countless green chakra arrows burst out in an instant. Too naive. Chianyu's transformation of 200 million volts Thunder God, with a sudden wave of his hand, the light of thunder splashed all over, bursting into the ground. Rumble. All the arrows were smashed in an instant, turning into dust and nothingness. I have given you a lot of tricks, and then. It was my attack. Chianyu sneered, and suddenly, Thunder God's huge body was approaching. Gods. Roar. Boom. A ray of lightning suddenly turned into a cannonball, bursting out. Rumble. Susanoo's huge body was instantly hit by this blow, and it was crumbling, showing signs of collapse and disintegration. God's judgment. Rumble. In Thor's body, suddenly stretched out his arm towards the sky, summoning a more terrifying beam of lightning. Hit it violently. Boom. Susanoo, who was crumbling, finally broke down with a bang. Dissipated into the invisible in an instant. Boom. Sarutobi Hiruzen's pipe was instantly crushed by him. Unexpectedly, defeated Shisui's Susanoo. How can this be? That man is so powerful. Chapter 22. Advertise here. Uchiha Shisui spit out another big mouthful of blood. Uchiha Qianyu. Do not. I haven't lost yet. I am the heir to the firm will of fire, and the entire Konoha village is my glory. I won't lose to anyone, including you. Rumble. His Susanoo actually soared again. Only this time, chakra consumed too much, and it is no longer as terrifying and overbearing as before. However, it is still extremely powerful. Chianyu had already withdrawn 200 million volts of Thor at this moment. He reformed himself into the body and appeared on the opposite side of him. Facing Uchiha Shisui, who was already close to madness, he shook his head slightly and sighed. Are you still obsessed with not realizing it? Never mind, I will convince you completely. Boom. The momentum of his body suddenly soared again. Chakra burst out instantly. That is, the father and son might die, and Might Guy exclaimed suddenly. 8 inner gates formation. In an instant, Chianyu had already opened the 8 inner gates formation. Moreover, it was directly opened up to the 6th gate, Jingmun. What? A Uchiha, the physical skills are so terrifying. Open the 8 inner gates directly, and it's the 6th gate. How can it be? Sarutobi Hiruzen's pipe fell to the ground in an instant. Boom. After opening the 8 inner gates formation, Chianyu's speed and strength skyrocketed to an indescribable level. Just a blink. In the blink of an eye, he has flown in front of Shisui. Susanoo ahead, toward the peacock. Boom boom boom. The crazy offensive instantly burns the air, and the force of the violent explosion is like catharsis, bursting on Susanoo violently. Boom, 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 boom. Susanoo drove Shisui back violently. He can only resist defense and can no longer make a move. Don't you admit defeat. 8 inner gates formation. The 7th gate is shocked. Open. Chianyu suddenly opened the 7th gate. All of a sudden, Might Guy was completely shocked. How long has he studied 8 inner gates? How is it possible that the 7th gate can be opened? Moreover, opening the 7th gate has to endure unparalleled terrifying pressure. Isn't he afraid? However, what flows through Chianyu's body is Sage Body Chakra from 1st generation Senju Hashirama. This kind of loss is nothing at all. Day Tiger. Chianyu slammed the strongest blow that 8 inner gates could perform at this moment. A fierce tiger descended between heaven and earth in an instant. But it's more than that. How could his Day Tiger be accompanied by terrifying lightning? Might Guy was surprised. This is. Chianyu combined Thunder Fruit's power, 20 million Ford Thunder Beast, and Day Tiger in one place. Definitely an unprecedented move. Just like Hokage's ninjutsu, it is a combination of taiju and ninjutsu. It's just that Chianyu replaced ninjutsu with Thunder Fruit's ability. This Day Tiger, blessed with the power of the Thunder Beast, instantly roared, and the terrifying aura shook the world. Boom. Just a blow. Shisui's Susanoo was completely broken in an instant. And this time, he himself was completely unable to escape. He was hit directly, and the whole person was bombarded and flew back, slamming hard on the rocks behind him. Rumble, rumble. A large swath of rocks was shattered, rumbling down and scattered on the ground. Dust was splashing everywhere. Rocks rolled down. A mess. Shisui, who has fallen to the ground, has obviously lost the ability to fight again. For a time, there was dead silence in the entire field. Then, what's that move? Is it the horror of 8 inner gates formation? No, what's the horrible electric light in it? As Hokage the same ninjutsu. But, a move I've never seen before. Could it be that he created it? For a time, everyone talked. However, everyone knows a fact, that is. Shisui was a complete failure. Winner. There is no doubt that it is Uchiha Qianyu. Okay, For a time, the applause was surging like a tide. Among them, the most joyful one is Uzumaki Kushina. And the other people who supported Chianu also applauded for him. Applause was thunderous. A ninja has rescued Shisui long ago. He struggled to stand up, but was already seriously injured. I lost. Sorry, Lord Third Hokage. Everyone looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen. He lost. Why should I be sorry for you? Sarutobi Hiruzen also froze for a moment, and quickly said, although I recommended you as a candidate, this battle is fair, Shisui. You don't need to say sorry to me. It's Master Hokage. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at Chianu, trying his best to conceal the anger in his heart. Chianu, you won. I announce that from now on, you, Uchiha Qianyu, Orochimaru, and Namikaze Minato are officially candidates for 4th Hokage. Chianu glanced at him and smiled slightly. Is it? Then, thank you Lord Third Generation. He said mockingly. Suddenly, Sarutobi Hiruzen flushed with anger. Chapter 23. Advertise here. Shisui was carried down for treatment. This battle came to an end. From then on, the title of Uchiha's no. One master undoubtedly fell on Chianyu's head. And he has officially become one of the candidates for 4th Hokage. Certainly, for Chianyu, he is not uncommon for the title of 4th Hokage. However, as long as 3rd Hokage is mad enough, this old guy who has always wanted to suppress or even wipe out the Uchiha clan can't succeed, Chianyu is of course happy to accept it. But, although he is a candidate for Hokage, there is still a long way to go before he can truly pass the test and become Hokage. In terms of the process, it is necessary to inform the daimyo of the country of fire. After that, they have to be tested by various tasks, discussed by various families, selected, voted, and so on. I am afraid that 1 or 2 years may not be really selected. However, Chianyu was not in a hurry either. In the following days, Chianyu served as the deputy captain of the garrison and was responsible for the police work in Konoha village. On the other hand, we must also take the disciples out of missions. His 3 disciples, Aoki, Lujin and Chiwo, have all grown up one after another. On the other hand, his relationship with Uzumaki Kushina is getting sweeter. This day, Kushina is waiting for his return at home. After Chianyu returned home, Kushina blushed and told him a news. Chianyu, I am pregnant. Chianyu was taken aback for a moment, then surprised and happy, but a little worried. Seeing his look, Kushina couldn't help asking, why, are you not happy that I am pregnant, brother Chianyu? Chianyu gave a wry smile, and said hurriedly, no, it's not. Of course I am happy. Of course, there will be some worries. Kushina blinked her eyes and asked, worry? What are you worried about? Kushina, your body, but it's sealed with 9 tails. Chianyu sighed and hugged her shoulders, and said softly. Kushina's heart was shocked. Yes, but Jinchuriki from 9 tails. Moreover, she has learned from the previous generation 9 tails Jinchuriki, Uzumaki Mito. When Jinchuriki was pregnant and gave birth, it was the moment when the seal was the weakest. At that time, a huge crisis may break out. No wonder, Chianyu would show such a look. Chianyu held her in his arms. Kushina, rest assured, with me, nothing can hurt you. And our children. Kushina blushed, but fell into his arms with happiness and sweetness. Brother Chianyu, I love you. I love you too, Kushina. U.S. Let's marry. Chianyu certainly wouldn't let Kushina get pregnant just like that. Then, 1 month later, the two held a grand wedding. The entire Konoha village was a sensation. This is a rare joyous event after 3 ninja battles. The entire Konoha village is very lively for a while. The Uchiha clan, Fugaku, Yatsushiro, Anahuo, Tiehuo, and Chianyu's disciples, Chiwo, Ryukin, Aoki, and other guards friends and close clansmen. Ino Shika Cho, Ino family, Yamanaka family, Nara family, Might Day father and son. The Aburame family, the Inazuka family. Ninjas from all sides came to celebrate. 3rd Hokage also had to send congratulations. Everyone expressed their blessings to the two. Kushina was shy, chatting with a few close female ninja friends. Everyone was overjoyed. Namikaze Minato did not appear at the wedding scene. That night, the two officially became husband and wife. All night, it was so sweet, like glue like lacquer. After marriage, Chianyu also started to get busy with Kushina's affairs. By the day Kushina is born, many things will inevitably break out. Chianyu was thinking too. In the original storyline, the day Kushina gave birth, the 9 tails chaos broke out. And now, since there is one's own existence, it will naturally change, but will the 9 tails chaos really stop breaking out? Another example, because Kushina married herself, the child she gave birth will naturally no longer be Uzumaki Naruto. So, who will it be? This day, Chianyu came to the home of Fugaku, the chief of the Uchiha clan. Suddenly it was discovered that his wife Uchiha Makoto was also pregnant. Fugaku smiled and said, my child should be born 2 months earlier than yours. Speaking of which, it should be the older brother or the older sister. Chianu smiled slightly. Uchiha Sasuke. At this moment, a child walked out, silently looking at his father, and then at Chianu. Fugaku smiled and said, "This is my first child with Makoto." Uchiha Itachi. Chianu glanced at him and saw that although he was very young, there was a slight gleam in his eyes. It seems to be thinking about something all the time. Fugaku sighed. In this war, I also took Itachi to fight, let him see the cruelty of war at such a young age, maybe he also has his own thinking about the world in his heart. Don't look at him so young, but sometimes even I have to think about it for a long time. Uchiha Itachi came to Chianu and nodded calmly. Uncle Chianu. I want to ask you. Why is there always war in this world? Fugaku couldn't help holding his forehead suddenly, feeling his head was big. Chianu couldn't help but stunned, and gave a wry smile. Chapter 24. Advertise here. Uchiha Itachi. This is. Will the sinners of the Uchiha clan be wiped out in the future? Chianu stared at him coldly, but felt a little funny. After all, he is only 5 or 6 years old now. So Chianu solemnly told him, war is inevitable. But the real problem is, why do you want to fight? Itachi frowned slightly. Why are you fighting? Chianu nodded and said, not bad. I am born with a war. Instead of thinking about the illusory problem, it is better to protect the people around me as much as possible. Those, the closest people, are the ones who love you the most, and the ones you should love. Nothing else can replace it. Itachi thoughtfully. So. Do you want to fight for the one you love the most? Chianu nodded and said, not bad. Itachi seemed to understand something, nodded and said, I seem to understand, thank you Uncle Chianu. After speaking, he left in silence again. Fugaku sighed. This kid is really hard to figure out. However, his talent is very high, astonishingly high, 10 times and 100 times stronger than mine. But, for a person who can't figure it out, the higher the talent, the more worrying. Chianu smiled slightly. But, it's my own child after all. The patriarch should pay more attention to it, especially. Don't let him touch. Over there. Fugaku's heart moved slightly. Of course he knows which side the so-called side is. Yes, I know. Chianu left Fugaku's house and walked towards his own house. Passing by the Wiling Monument, I suddenly saw a figure. Wearing a half mask, covering half of his face, he was silent, standing in front of the stele in despair. It's Hatake Kakashi. Chianu's heart moved slightly. Kakashi also seemed to notice someone coming, and turned around to see Chianu. He remained silent, but nodded slightly as a greeting. Chianu also sighed and shook his head to leave. Suddenly. Chianu looked back and saw Kakashi was looking at him. What's wrong, Kakashi? Kakashi lowered his head in silence. Are you from the Uchiha clan, too? Chianu laughed. Are there any questions about this? Although he knew in his heart, Kakashi wanted to talk about Obito. No, nothing. Chianu glanced at him. Kakashi, I know, you are depressed for the death of your companion, living in the dark all day, like a walking dead, but this will not solve any problems. Kakashi said indifferently, I know it can't be solved, but I don't want to solve it either. Chianu shook his head, don't want to lose your companions. The only way is to make yourself stronger and more reliable. What can you do now? What about your teacher? What did Namikaze Minato do? Kakashi was silent for a moment, and then said, Teacher, let me join Anbu. Chianu sighed. You are in this state, let you join Anbu. Where is Anbu? The place that specializes in dark things, detection, assassination, spying on intelligence, and contacting the dark side of the ninja world. Let someone in Kakashi's state go to Anbu. Chianu didn't know what Namikaze Minato thought. Have you lost your companion? Chianu shook his head and smiled. No. You are lucky. This is not lucky, because I have the strength to protect people who are important to me. Strength. You are indeed strong. I watched the decisive battle between you and Uchiha Shisui. Chianu nodded and said, so, or Kushina, don't need your Anbu's protection. Kakashi flushed slightly. After he joined Anbu, his task was to secretly protect the pregnant Kushina. Of course, the real purpose is to prevent the runaway of Nine Tails. Only then did Kakashi know that Chianu had seen his deeds long ago. It just has not been said to be broken. However, even Kakashi didn't know the real purpose. I'm just following orders. Chianu said, my family, I can protect myself. Kakashi, you might as well cherish your companions. My companion. All are dead. Really? I don't think so. Chianu looked into the distance. A young man in a green tights was looking far away. Kakashi sighed. Might Guy. Good. Guy has been encouraging you to cheer you up. Didn't you find out? I found it. What can I do? Isn't it worse than waste for the dead companions, regardless of the current companions? Kakashi's heart suddenly moved. A ninja who breaks the rules is a waste, but a ninja who does not cherish his companions is not as good as waste. This is exactly what Obito told him. How could you? Chianu smiled slightly and did not answer. Well, I will give you a gift. Gift. Kakashi looked at Chianu in confusion. Chianu took him to the Konoha bookstore. Then, he bought a book and gave it to him. Let's watch when I leave. Kakashi looked at Chianyu's leaving back, and seemed to understand a lot. At this time, Might Guy came over. Yo, Kakashi. I just saw what Chianyu gave you. Open it and let me see it too. Kakashi also opened it curiously. Afterwards, his face flushed. That turned out to be a Love in Paradise. Chapter 25. Advertise here. Ding dong. The next system sign in refresh time is coming soon. Remaining 1 day. The system refreshes the sign in location. Hokage Rock. Chianyu smiled slightly at the sign in location that was finally refreshed again. Hokage Rock. Speaking of it, after I came into this world, I have been watching from a distance, and I have never seen it before. Okay, just take advantage of the time to visit it now. The next day, Chianyu bid farewell to Kushina, and after completing the work of the police force, strode towards Hokage Rock. However, as soon as I came to Hokage Rock, I found 2 people. That is, Orochimaru and Danzo. Chianyu couldn't help but sneer. These 2 careerists actually joined together on the Hokage Rock in a fair manner. However, neither of the 2 people at this time exposed their true dark thoughts, and indeed no one would doubt them. Seeing Chianyu's arrival, Orochimaru turned around, showing a trademark smirk. Oh, it's a candidate for 4th Hokage, Uchiha Qianyu. Shimura Danzo sneered without speaking. Of course Chianyu had no fear, and strode forward. Orochimaru and Danzo. Shimura Danzo's face changed slightly. The ninjas of Chianyu's generation will yell Lord Danzo when they see themselves. This Chianyu even called his name directly. But the current Chianyu is also the deputy captain of the police force. From the point of view of his position, there is indeed no need to call him an adult. What's more, the so-called roots are basically out of sight. Danzo sneered, and said nothing. Orochimaru smiled and said, Uchiha Qianyu, what are you doing here? Chianyu smiled lightly. Then what are you doing here again? It's always looking at the scenery, right? Orochimaru grinned. How dare to talk to me like this, what a kid who doesn't know the height of the sky. You don't think that if you win the Shisui of the same clan, you will be invincible in the world, right? He stretched out his long snake head and licked his lips. It looks terrifying and nausea. Chianyu sneered and said, Orochimaru, recently throughout Konoha village, and surrounding villages, ninjas and civilians have disappeared one after another. Our police force has been fully investigating this matter. Orochimaru laughed. What does this have to do with me? Boy, don't you want to say, I did all these things, right? In order to compete for the position of 4th Hokage, do you not hesitate to plant a competitor who will blame you? The little ghosts nowadays really don't know how to respect the old. Chianyu sneered. You and I know who the murderer is. Don't be hypocritical here, Orochimaru. Either you or Danzo, it's best not to let me notice any rash actions, especially if you guys want to shoot me Uchiha clan. You have to weigh, can you bear my anger? Orochimaru and Shimura Danzo were taken aback. Then he was furious at the same time. What a kid from Uchiha. Do you think you are 4th Hokage? Or, do you think your power is already invincible? Chianyu said coldly, if you don't believe me, you can try. However, I can guarantee that it will definitely be the last thing you have done. Danzo finally couldn't help being angry. Sure enough, the Uchiha clan are all evil clan. Dare to threaten us in Konoha village. Court death. Between the 3 of them, a terrifying intent to fight suddenly broke out. It's on the verge. At this time, Master. The 3 of them looked back and saw a young female ninja talking. It is Orochimaru's disciple and one of his experimental objects. Mitarashi Anko. She stared at this scene blankly, seeming a little frightened. Orochimaru glanced at her. Anko, what's the matter? Mitarashi Anko reacted and hurriedly said, 3rd Hokage-sama invites you to come. Is it? Orochimaru smiled slightly. Okay. He took a deep look at Chianyu and left Hokage Rock with Mitarashi Anko. Mitarashi Anko looked back at Chianyu. Is he the number 1 master of the Uchiha clan, the hero of Konoha village, Uchiha Qianyu? On Hokage Rock, only Chianyu and Danzo were left. Chianyu hasn't heard the sign in success yet. So, strode forward. Shimura Danzo suddenly became nervous. What do you want to do? Chianyu sneered. Don't worry, I will not attack you yet. However, Danzo, don't let me discover you anything against my Uchiha clan. Otherwise, ding dong. At this moment, suddenly, the system prompt finally arrived. Congratulations to host for signing into Hokage Rock. Sign in at the location refreshed by the system and get generous rewards. There was a slight movement in his heart, and suddenly, Danzo saw a scene that made him terrified. Chianyu's eyes changed instantly, turning red, and the 3-tomo Sharingan also turned again. It turned into Mangekyo Sharingan. Chianyu's voice also came coldly at the same time. I will kill you. Danzo was frightened in an instant, and his soul flew away.